There we go. Okay. Are we live?
Let me check.
Are things alive? Are live things happening?
Ads are alive.
You're right.
There we go.
Yeah, we are indeed alive.
All right.
Yep. You're alive.
Cool.
There we go. Yep, just skip through my ad.
Yep.
Up. Now if I just remember how the item slide, not if I just remember how the image slideshow works properly. Uh-oh. Where'd you go?
Okay. And I'm seeing a lot of flickering.
On just the white, yeah, that's just normal. Ignore that.
Oh, okay. I know it's been a while since we've done one of these.
Yeah, it is what it is. Alrighty, how's everyone doing in the chat today as I try to do some last minute fixes? Here's that.
Yes.
There we go. Okay.
Hope everybody's doing good.
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it shouldn't do that while I actually have the thing open. So
That being said, I do apologize if maybe I sound a little too nasally. I got a cold at the beginning of the week. It's safe to say I'm on the other end of it, but still, it's annoying that my nose is still kind of stuffed up.
I'm glad you're getting better.
Mm-hmm.
I ban your congestions.
It's like phlegm can die.
Yeah, I ban your phlegm.
Yeah, because you know what? I woke up with a sore throat this morning, so. Because my brother was here visiting, and when he got back, he was feeling under the weather because of all this time in Florida, having to come back down here. And then my uncle probably caught whatever he had, and now I think I'm catching whatever they both had.
Well,
Yeah.
As long as it's just a cold, because
Yeah.
Because that was the thing. I didn't get any of the telltale symptoms for that you would get for COVID. So no difficulty breathing, no loss of taste, no massive headache, all of the telltale signs. Didn't get any of that. So I was like, okay, I'm at least in the clear there. I just think it was just because I don't know how things are where you are, Brandon, but temperature, we got massive temperature drop here in Ohio. We've been living in 70-degree weather, and then it pretty much felt like overnight we went from 70 degrees to living in 40s and 50s. And I think
Fantastic way to start my stream, guys.
Yeah, I think that's what did it.
Yeah, it's getting to be that way around in our area too.
Okay.
Also, Little Odyssey Gaming. Thank you for the $1. I really appreciate that.
Yeah. And I'm now being called down to dinner, so I'll be back.
Because of course he is.
Okay, have fun.
Okay.
Alrighty, so for those who may be new, or for those who've never seen one of these streams before, this is a mistakes and issues stream. So this is pretty much you guys' time to shine, where you give me feedback for the last 10 characters that I made movesets on. Pretty much we discuss over any potential mistakes that I made in the video, whether they were editing mistakes or information mistakes, things like that. Or you guys you guys give me feedback on maybe things that you didn't care for in the movesets, maybe things you would have done differently. Don't be afraid to share your opinions. Don't be afraid to share your feedback.
BJ, have we not learned?
Well, first off, thank you, Charo. Yes, the first character is a little bit suspicious, I'd say. We'll get to that in a bit. I am going to preface by... I am, of course, going to preface by saying, I apologize if you guys gave any ideas, in the comment sections of videos. I'm not going to be able to remember them. That's also why I do these, so we can talk about them a little bit more, forwardly. So you can just straight up tell me what's going on with them. And I guess I should also preface by saying, because this is something I always want to, try to emphasize as well. I do want everyone to remember there is a difference between a critique and an opinion. Because if you feel like I could have done something differently in the moveset, and that's perfectly fine. I'm cool with that. But don't think of that as a critique, because that's just your idea. Like, I don't mind sharing your ideas, but if you want to give a critique, I'd say the best way to do it is to talk about the actual moveset itself. I'd say, like, what's actually present in the moveset that I made. Because otherwise, if you want to share your ideas about how you would have done things differently, that's open. That's open too. But all right, so yeah, why don't we go ahead and just jump right into this with starting off with character 91, the Impostor from Among Us. Originally a character. Wow, I love this. I got distracted by the Fast WarioWare songs. Yeah, so originally the Impostor was a character that I thought of better as an assist trophy, but then as time passed, I was able to come up with a proper moveset for them. The biggest mistake is trusting the chat to ask serious critiques and questions about Among Us.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Have we not learned? Never give the chat power.
But regardless, Rick Naturals has said, my only critique with the Impostor is that when you're in the crewmates FOV, it basically just means you can't play the game. Doing nothing isn't fun.
In the crewmates what?
FOV?
FOV?
Field of view?
Oh, okay. I get you. Well, no, it's like you can still do stuff. Just don't. You know, it's all a part of the game. Like, because remember, it's like it's that applies to both the crewmate, to the opponents, and the Impostor too. You can still play. You just got to be wary of your surroundings. Is all. It's all stage control is what it is. Danny's a little quiet. I can turn her up here.
Can you hear me now?
How's that? Is she more audible?
Am I pleasing to the ears?
For the Impostor,
If not, I am sorry.
So from WDB Sports Network, for the Impostor, I think you should make his down special venting. His up special should be being a ghost mode? I don't know how I feel about that. Like, that doesn't, like... I don't know about that one. Myself, anyway.
Kirby has a question. How would the colors work if all 8 players each summoned the max amount of crewmates possible? Like, how would you know who's got what crewmate at that point?
It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter, because it does not matter whose crewmate belongs to who, because they treat every single player the same, regardless of who, like, even the Impostor that summoned them. So it doesn't matter. But as for the color question, because I got this question a lot when the episode came out, because I said crewmates can be whatever color that isn't already taken by an Impostor player. So, like, if you have a red player and a blue player who are both Impostors, then no crewmates can be either red or blue. So if you have 8 crewmate players who are taking up every single color, 8 Impostor players who are taking up all 8 colors, then the crewmates would just be separate colors. Because, I mean, even after I made that video, the Among Us team added more colors. So there's something that says that can't just be more colors. Plus, I also liked the idea of, like, the crewmates wearing various headwear, just to tell them apart, even if they are the same colors. But in reality, it doesn't actually matter. It doesn't matter if the crewmates have matching colors or whatever. It doesn't matter if you can't tell who's crewmate who. It does not matter for the design of the moveset, because the crewmates all treat every single player the same.
Okay, Grunkle G, you, sir, are a man of good taste. Or woman, I do not know. But Grunkle G asks, would the Impostor have drip?
What did it's been a hot minute since I made that moveset. What did I say in terms of how the costumes would work?
Was it not just colors?
I think I only had it as colors, but I think I made a mention about how costumes could work, but I don't remember what I said. I think I only said, like, maybe specific outfits could be possible, but beyond that, I don't know.
Let me see. I just saw it. Theo Taylor says 15 seconds seems a little too long for the side special.
Well, the idea is that you don't like the opponents don't want it activating. It's more so for the tactics of the imposter taking advantage of it. So like you're not really. It does have an option to explode, but that's not primarily what you're going to be using it for. Because it's a very big bomb is the thing. Like it's huge. It's like what did I say? Yeah, imposter lays a bomb with a timer on it. After 15 seconds, it explodes. The explosion is very large and very deadly. So yeah, like it's YouTube. What you doing?
I do not know. What is YouTube doing?
Not playing my music is what it's not doing. Okay. So yeah, it is more for stage control, not necessarily because especially since if you use it and already have a crewmate out, the crewmate prioritizes turning it off. So more often than not, your crewmates are going to end up turning it off anyway. You're hardly ever going to see that explosion. You're just not. And anyone can turn it off, even opponents.
Cameron Gale asks, if it was a free-for-all and if you get KO'd early, can the imposter become a ghost just to troll people? Like, moving around on the screen. Like, you can't attack, but you can still just, like, move around just for shits and giggles.
As funny as that would be, I don't know. I feel like there would be a distracting... Like, there would be a point of distraction for that to happen. So, I think the only way that would work is if you were playing on separate screens where only you could see your ghost. Where it doesn't mean anything.
I did see somebody ask if we're saying that the imposter can vent, can we assume that that means the imposter can crawl?
A lot of people brought this up too, actually. Nothing says that they're actually crawling through vents. Who's to say that the vents aren't tall enough to stand in? But even ignoring that point, I felt no reason to make the imposter crawl. It's not really vital to their moveset at all. Like, I felt no reason to give him a crawl. Oh. Thank you, Clifford Longhead. Welcome to the party. Be sure to choose your class.
Okay. Gunkle G asks, how would a crewmate throw someone off a stage, like on a stage like the Bridge of Eldon?
Be good at mashing, because they won't. They'll just walk. They only throw at ledges. So if there's a walk-off, they just keep going. So be good at mashing. And again, remember, this applies to the imposter too. All this can still happen to the imposter as well. So that also applies to the imposter player. So remember, there's a reason why people don't like walk-offs to begin with. And the imposter would only emphasize that. I saw someone else ask as well, yeah, Sebas, why didn't I include the laser kill animation? Because I didn't include that because that's a Henry Stickmin reference more than anything else. So I didn't really I really couldn't find a good place for it anyway, so I just felt no need to include it. Are there any things in the imposter's moveset that I would have considered but ultimately decided not to include? Oh, good question. Let me think back to that one. I think the laser was one that I thought about, but I ended up deciding against using. I feel like there was something else. Because ultimately, I think for the most part, just about every character I make, I have some ideas that I end up not using because it either clashes with the design philosophy of the character, or there was just no good place for them, or there were just things that I preferred over it. So I'll have to think back on that one as well.
Clank suggests a taunt in which a pet appears and follows you.
Someone else brought that up too, the pets. And you know what? I think that was something else someone brought up that I actually did kick myself on. I kind of wish that I included pets somehow. I just didn't think about it. Yeah. I don't know where I'd put it, but I think the idea of being able to, like, use taunts for, like, have pets involved in, like, a taunt or something would have been cool. So I think that was something that I kicked myself on, but beyond that, I don't remember what I would replace for that anyway.
I'm seeing several people saying when like how with the Inklings, like when the Inklings die, you see their little Splatoon ghost. Impostor, same thing. For a brief second, you see the Impostor ghost.
That'd be funny. That would be funny. Yeah, all right, I can write that one down.
Yeah, and I saw several people bringing that up. I think the people just want the ghosts.
That's why they're in the taunts and victory animations.
Well, it's not enough, apparently. They want more ghosts. I mean, 'tis the season.
Only for the next week.
That is true.
And then we jump right to Christmas.
Yeah.
Hold on, Brandon, you sound a little quiet now. Hold on.
No. I was away from my mic. Do I sound better now?
Yeah, okay, you're good.
Yeah.
Would the bomb be a normal bomb, or would the bomb just be a normal bomb, or at the very least a reference to an actual meltdown site like sabotage, perhaps the reactor? Good question. I would say the explosion itself probably would look. Well, I guess that's kind of the weird thing. We never actually see an explosion in Among Us. That's kind of a sad thing, because as soon as the actual meltdowns or whatever, or whatever's happen, the game just ends. So I would like to say at the very least maybe it'd be something unique, but as for the explosion itself, I mean, I don't know how it would look any different than any other explosion. Like, it's like, what would a meltdown explosion look like? I think just any other explosion. Suggestion. I think this. Hold on. I think the. Okay, so from Marcelo Paulo, I think the sabotage side special should be changed to a Monado art and magic fusion. What? Every option being a different ability or presenting the sabotages you can do in them. Oh. Gonna say no to that one, because not all of the sabotages are that straightforward. Because one of them is like just oxygen deprivation, and how do you translate that to Smash? I think the explosion is just the more straightforward one. So I'm gonna say no to that one. Meltdown explosion would be green, maybe? I mean, I guess. Or I guess whatever the color of like the reactors are in general. Would the crewmates act as a command grab? Yes, they act as grabs. So when they pick you up, yeah, they're grabbing you. Would their star hero read up Impostor was ejected? That'd be funny. I don't know where that would go, though. Try adding a kill animation when the Impostor wins, like when Sora wins, the screen fades to white. That'd be a little weird and preemptive, I think, because they were able to get away with Sora's cool, fade to white slowdown, because that was for sure a confirmed kill. With the Imposters, though, it would have to be preemptive, and there are situations where the game doesn't really, and where the game really only knows that it's for sure a kill when they actually are KO'd. Like, think for example, the how in Ultimate, when you get like that close up with like the red lightning that happens when you get a really strong kill or attack in, that would normally end up causing them to be KO'd. But there are still instances where you get that animation, but it still doesn't KO. So I think of it like that, and I think in reality, that animation already kind of covers the Imposter being able to get kills like that anyway, so I'm not worried about it.
Matt MC wants to know, flat or 3D?
3D. Yeah, there's no reason that they can't be 3D. So what are you gonna do about the new colors that were added since the moveset was made? They can just be crewmate colors, is all. Another critique from Rick Naturals. I think having to use the grab button to disable the sabotage is kind of unintuitive. That wouldn't be your first instinct. I think I made it the grab specifically so that way it's not too easy to turn off. Because even in Among Us, like, you can't just walk up to a bomb, like to the meltdown, and just turn it off naturally. You gotta play a little mini game. Plus, you gotta wait for somebody else. So in this case, using the grab is kind of, yeah, it's not your first reaction, but it's also kind of not supposed to be. Because there may also be instances where you don't want to turn it off, and if you accidentally attack it and that turns it off, then I feel like that'll make the move even worse than it kind of already is. So I feel like the grab is necessary on that front. Wouldn't it be more straightforward to add the kill screen thing in stamina mode, since you wouldn't have to worry about SDI and things like that? But again, that assumes you land it. So like the game has to know that you're about to land this move, and then be able to play the animation first before the move even connects. So I think that's wherein the problem lies. Can I listen to you, Leslie? Sure. What am I listening to?
Wait, what?
Okay. Anyway, somebody said, could you have added the ability to shapeshift into other players?
That was the taunt. Remember? I literally made that a taunt, but it wasn't like an ability like in the moveset itself, because I wanted the moveset to stick to what the actual Among Us, but I made that a taunt where he literally shapeshifts into another character and uses their taunt.
Okay.
What do you think? What do you guys think of the Among Us people would look like if they take off their suits? Well, I don't know.
Marshmallows. That's my guess. They look like marshmallows.
So I return.
Welcome back.
Yay! Welcome back. We be talking Impostor.
Yay. That sounds sus.
The Impostor class. Stop typing in my ear.
Not trying to.
Who's typing in my ear? Stop it.
That would be Brian.
It's not me, I swear. I'm
Don't know
playing
why
Smash.
don't know why it's picking up that loudly.
Let's see.
I guess you have just a very sensitive mic.
Probably, I guess. I don't know.
What if during the victory animations the background was the same as when they win in Among Us, like with Sephiroth? That'd be cool. I think that'd be funny.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind that myself. If you lose as the imposter, its clapping animation has it just being a ghost. Yeah, I could see that. Because, usually the only instances when an imposter loses is as after they die. So.
Yeah. Darn, they got me. I am now ghost.
Would the crewmates get sus if they see the imposter plant the bomb? I'm going to say no to that one because technically in Among Us, you never see the imposter activate a sabotage. It's literally impossible to see that.
Yeah, it just happens.
Yeah, like they just do it. Like the only way you could know that's happening is if you're either screen sharing or I'm sorry, screen sniping, which is cheating. Don't do that. Or if you're just so big brained that you see like certain habits of the players. But in this case, no. Like activating the bomb wouldn't make the crewmate suspicious.
I heard your mouse click over the mic.
Wait, who's?
No, it's like, I heard your mouse click over the mic. You must have been trying to sabotage.
Oh, that's what you mean. Okay.
I feel like with the copy taunt, someone would eventually get a clip of killing with Luigi's taunt using it. That would be hilarious. That would be very funny.
I knew it. Luigi was sus.
Have I seen Among Us fan art where the characters are trying to look human? Oh yeah, here and there. Mostly when it was still big. Like you don't really see much of Among Us anymore.
Yeah, yes you do. Yes you do. People
Much.
just don't talk about it as much.
Much. Like not as much as before.
Cooper Animate says, I feel like the aerials could instead be references to the poses on the cover art, where they're in the air, presumably ejected. The neutral air could easily be the counterclockwise flip from Skeld.
That is an idea. I just really like the star. Boy turns into a star, referencing the concept art. But no, that's not a terrible idea. Literally sees imposter vet, also crewmate. Nothing to see here, folks. Well, no, venting and using up special in front of crewmates raises their suspicion. Like, I'm pretty certain actively using up special is the only attack that just using it in front of the crewmates will raise their suspicion. Because attacking in general, other players will raise their suspicions. But beyond that, the up special is the only one where just using it raises suspicions. I guess aside from down special where using it, no, I guess there is down special too, because, but that's only if you miss. Because if you land it, then it's fine. But if you miss, then it's a different story. The neutral air is just literally the imposter turning into Patrick. Sure, why not?
My name's not Rick!
Would I be opposed to having my version of Smash be turned into a fan? No, not at all. If you guys can make it, I don't mind.
What if Smash the fan game?
The imposter's visor could crack like Olimar's helmet when launched. Yeah, that's an idea. Can you get
crewmates to suspect other crewmates?
No, like the actual crewmate like characters like summoned from imposters. No, they will not get suspicious of each other. Will I do a live stream for reveal trailers? What do you mean by that? Like the actual reveal trailers, or me making up reveal trailers? I'm doing just fine, Parker TXG. How are you? Imposter back aerial should be changed so he's spraying a bit of oil behind. No. I'm actually going to go ahead and bring this up now, because I know I brought this up in a prior stream, but now that we're actually talking about it, I'm going to bring this up now. I hate the idea of tasks being used as attacks. Because for one thing, it does not make sense for imposters to be doing tasks. They cannot do tasks. They shouldn't be doing tasks. They literally can't. So I do not like the idea of imposters using tasks as attacks. I'm gonna just go as I'm sorry to get that out of the way now, but I do not like that idea at all. I just don't.
Okay, I know we talked about before about what do you do when you have like a crewmate wanting to throw off the stage on a stage like Bridge of Eldon. But what would happen on like Shadow Moses where you're initially boxed in and you have to break down the wall?
They can't do anything then. They'd be walking back and forth.
How do we get rid of this body?
Faking tasks? They're still not doing tasks. Like the idea of faking tasks is that you're just standing there. So they're still not doing tasks. Like you can't actually do them.
Thank you, Maniac, for the $5 donation. Since the moveset came out, there's a clean vents task added to Among Us. Let's just say crewmates who see him vent just think he's cleaning the vents.
Also, as for your request earlier, Leslie, since you keep spamming it, I already saw that earlier, so don't worry about it. Yes, thank you, Maniac. I really appreciate that.
How does imposter eat food?
They open their big mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then stab it with their tongue.
And you know what? going back to the tasks thing too. Not only contextually doesn't that make sense, because you could just say, you know, they're just faking tasks or whatever, just for the sake of variety. But I feel like they look really just forced. Because, like, here, pretend this is a key card. It's my Zomboss Instant card that I somebody use.
I can't see what he's doing, but it sounds funny.
You see how dumb this looks? This looks really dumb, guys.
I gotta wait specials up on the
Card.
All right, so yeah, is there anything else on the Impostor that people would like to talk about, ask questions, give their own ideas, give a critique before we move on?
Attack with capitalism.
Maybe add in the kill screen for the Impostor. Well, no, someone brought that up earlier already, and I don't think it would work that well. Like, it's not quite the same as Sora's, where it ends on that, because the animation would have to play before the kill even happens, and that wouldn't work that well. Like, like, I feel like they'd be pretty jank.
Somebody asked, could you still take requests for crewmates?
Honestly, I don't think I will. I really don't think. I don't think I want to do the crewmates. The imposters were easier to take care of, and even that gave me a hard time. So doing the crewmates, like just them, I feel like goes against the purpose of what crewmates are, and I'd rather just not. So I think the imposter's enough. I don't think I'm going to do the crewmates. One of the victory screens should be like the Among Us. I think it is. I'm fairly certain I did that. Yeah, it's just the one where the crewmate is just kind of standing there, staring at the camera, and like the ghosts all flying around it. Like that's kind of just what it is. One of the specials should be mimicking the kill button to do big damage? You mean the sabotage? The side special? Maybe summon crewmates could do tasks to slow down people they're chasing after? I don't know what you mean by that. Like, what do you mean slow down people they're after? I'm not quite sure what you mean by that.
I think like they're saying like, you know, interfering. What will Kirby's imposter hat be?
Probably just the
the
visor.
Right?
Yeah, maybe
Yeah,
it's probably just the visor covering his face. Also, thank you, Malik. A card attack, guys. We don't want another hero jank jab. Yeah, we don't need another hero jab.
It's not even jank. It just looks weird.
Why am I ignoring you? I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I'm missing anyone's ideas. Remember, there's a lot of you guys here, so sorry if I can't see everyone's ideas.
See, BJ's saying everything I'm trying to say to the chat right now, but I'm not trying to be rude.
Also, do please keep in mind as well, we are for the most part focusing on the imposter. So like, and we'll do the same for the other characters. Like, I want to just focus talking about them. So like, try to save other ideas for other characters, or just other ideas in general for the end of the stream.
Yeah, it's like,
Or in some cases when we actually get to them.
Yeah.
like we're not ignoring any of you guys, but I need everyone watching the stream to keep in mind of one thing. There are so many of you in the chat. We can't keep up with every single one of you at a time.
See.
So just relax and enjoy the stream.
I'm seeing several people also now asking, what about Kirby crewmates?
Well, they'd just be crewmates. He would just summon normal crewmates. Like, because again, it doesn't.
Would they look like little Kirby's?
No, they just be normal. Because again, it doesn't matter what they look like. They treat every player the same, even the one that summoned them. So he would just summon normal crewmates. Kirby crewmates would be funny, but no, I think just for the sake of simplicity, they'd just be normal crewmates.
You just have an army just coming after you going, Baya, Baya, Baya!
There should be a sabotage like lights out as a special where all players except the imposter can't see. No! You do not want that as a special that they can just use. That'd be...
Yeah, no, see, you think you want it, but you actually don't.
No, you don't want that. Like, there should never just be active specials that can cover the entire screen.
Yeah, seriously. Like, people already complain about how big the range of Hero's Magic Burst is.
What happens if you summon a crewmate in midair? It just falls. Like, it just falls.
Like the crewmates would look slightly different if Kirby used them, similar to how Kirby using Banjo's B special is just him using a Kazooie plush.
Well, that's just funny because there's only one Kazooie. There's lots of crewmates, so that makes sense
Yeah.
why that is. What if the alts were replaced by a customizable menu? Well, that's just a whole different, like gameplay change entirely then. The dash attack should have been the imposter charging forward with a knife. So another knife attack.
Yeah.
So you would prefer as another one of as opposed to rawr, Venom-like.
Yeah.
Thank you, Golden Skull, for the $5
Yeah,
donation.
thank you.
Yeah, Kirby will become sus when he eats the imposter.
I mean, yes. What would Metal Sonic get from copying the imposter? Whatever classified as other. It's like, it would definitely be an other category in that one. I'd have to go back and look at the Metal Sonic thing. Let me see. Hang on. Metal Sonic. Wait. No, not Eggman. Metal Sonic. Thank you.
Not the creator.
Okay, he'd get the crystal missiles in that case because that does count as a... because the crewmates do technically count as command grabs. Command grabs and counters, technically. So he'd get the crystal missiles. Imposter down throw should have 2 vents appear below the foe and the imposter's feet. As the imposter vent opens, falls...
How would...
What?
No, sorry, I was reading chat. Go on.
Hold on. But then where does the next snap go? Where does next snap go?
You gotta have that.
Yeah, that's literally what it is. That's one of the few animations he actually has in the game. Where does next snap go if you replace that? How fast would Impostor be? Oh, good question. Probably not too fast. Not too slow. Probably a pretty mid-range walker, I'd say. Mid-range runner. I guess the real answer is whatever speed makes most sense for the balance. That's the real answer, honestly. Because Impostor is a very technical character.
Yeah. How would Monokuma punish the imposter? What was the Monokuma's punishment for that one character in Danganronpa where the chef, whatever his name was, Teru, I think.
Terra.
Yeah, like it would probably be something like that where he just like similar to how Teru fell into a volcano.
where he dropped him into a volcano. Gotcha.
Yeah,
Something like that,
yeah. Monokuma would probably like push the imposter into what was it, Polis, whatever the map was with the lava pit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do I make so many lightweights? Because a lot of these characters would just be lightweight.
Yep.
Like, if you want more heavyweight characters, then request for heavyweight characters. Simple as that.
Characters that probably would be heavy.
Yeah. Heck, even Sora, who just came out, like Sora, I figured would be midweight, but Sakurai was sitting here like, nah, we're gonna make him one of the lightest characters in the game.
Yeah. You heard him, guys. Start requesting Godzilla. That'll be a heavyweight.
Maybe one of the specials could cover an area with black smoke as a reference to the sabotage of the lights. I feel like that'd be pushing it, though, because that's not the lights. That's something different.
And also, like, I don't exactly know how that would necessarily hide you from the enemies, because it's like, oh, look, there's a big thing of smoke. I wonder what's in there.
Yeah, that's no different than Piranha Plant side special. Like... One of the imposter's taunts should be him separating the upper part of his body, then putting it back on his body? Like, from what? Like, like, it's not a bad idea for what the imposter is, but that does sound like something specifically that you came up with that is opposed, that you just like, as opposed to just something like that goes into anything else. As the amount of fighters drop, the imposter gains power, just like no. Wait, what if you're 1v1 then?
Yeah, then it's kind of useless.
It's like also the imposters themselves don't actually get stronger when crewmates die. It's the same gameplay no matter what. It just like if anything, it narrows things down and actually makes it more dangerous for them.
Yeah, because then you start to figure out, like, okay, I think we know who it is.
Speaking of heavyweights, what character would you think could be the heaviest in the game, even more heavier than Bowser? Good question. Because Bowser's a thick boy.
Yeah, chunk.
Yeah, I'd have to get back to you on that one. Up tilt is a little too similar to the up smash functionally. Attacks it directly upward. Maybe they can be a little more different. Yeah, I can see that as a critique. I guess my thinking was just that because the up smash, hides you first. Like there is a bit more of that start lag on it, and it's much thicker on it too. Like, yeah, they're both stabs up, but one's a tongue stab that you can angle, and the other one is just like a cone head stab. So, but no, I get where you're coming from with that one. Stop pausing my music.
Not allowed.
Imposter's final smash should be the same, but in team matches, there should be crewmates dressed up as the team members that vote off the foe? I don't think they need to be dressed up. The O2 sabotage could be like the bomb, but instead of exploding, it starts with a ton of rapid damage, like you were spamming the Fox laser for a few minutes, with shorter charge time too. Oh, so they're suffocating, so if they're within range of that, they're like, can't talk about that because of spoilers. Brian knows what I'm talking about because of the recent My Hero chapter.
Yeah.
It's that. It's pretty much that.
Yeah.
I can't say too much more about that. More, though, because of spoilers.
Yeah.
It's literally that. That's not a bad idea, though.
What is he talking about? Read the manga.
Why is the music going really fast? Because of copyright.
Yeah. Oh no, Byleth.
What?
Sorry, I'm playing Smash.
Yeah, he's streaming in the call.
For the imposter's copy taunt, can they copy another imposter? Yeah, they could. They would just have to copy one of the other two taunts, is all. Like, you can't copy the copy taunt, because then what are they copying?
No, see, that's the twist. They both try to copy the copy taunt, but now they're just having an awkward stare down.
They just stand there like, now what?
It's like, you move first. No, you.
All right, I guess in which case, is there anything else we want to talk about for the imposter, or are we good to move on?
I think we might be good.
Let me see. Yeah, I think we're good. Okay. Alright, so character 92. The Terrarian, or the Terrarian, however you say it. It's fine either way. Doesn't matter how you say it. Just please don't be that guy and try to correct other people. Terrarian, say it however you want. I say Terrarian because that's what sounds better off my tongue.
Somalian. Well, that's not even right.
Had to get that out of the way now because I swear, I had so many people like trying to brutally correct me, saying you're wrong. You said it wrong. It's like I said it how I say it. It's tomato. Say it however you want. Though I will say this just so I can be that guy. Do you say Mario or Mario? Do you say Maria or Maria? Because it's the same spelling. Doesn't matter. Say it however you wish.
If you say it like Mario, you are unapologetically wrong.
Well, my mother says it like that.
I stand by my statement.
How dare
Maria. Well, that's just not right.
I 100% stand by my statement.
All right, so let's see here. All right, so I don't think it's too complicated per se, but it's too convoluted. I don't think there needs to be a clearer progression, one resource or something. Or I think it needs a clearer progression, one resource or something. And that's fine if you think that. I personally don't think it's that bad. I can understand if you think it's too convoluted. I guess that I think it's just a difference in opinion on that one myself. But I definitely see what you mean if you think it's too convoluted. I'm not going to pretend like it's not. I'm not going to. It definitely is a complicated moveset. It is. Like it would take a lot of learning and a lot of getting used to. But that's just like Terraria. Yeah. Would Terrarian be a 2D sprite or a 3D? I don't see why it can't be a 3D model. Like I know it's Terraria is definitely more so known for the 2D, but I don't see why it can't be a 3D model myself. Basically, English is stupid, and the pronunciation of words it differs with every. Yeah, it does. Like,
yeah,
what was that meme you showed me the other day, Brian? Like, read and lead, like, are the same.
Okay, no, I remember. Remember, folks, if you think English is a bad language, just remember that read rhymes with lead and lead rhymes with red, but read doesn't rhyme with lead and red doesn't rhyme with lead.
A 3D model for this guy sounds extremely awkward. It depends, because there are a lot of characters currently in Smash who only have ever been in 2D, or even only ever sprites, who got 3D models. Ice Climbers, Duck Hunt, things like that. So think of it like that.
Kid Icarus.
Why can't Terrarian wall jump? I think I just chose for them not to, because I know there is that one item that lets you wall jump. I think I just opted against it. Yeah, because a lot of their mobility already is pretty good when you get the better equipment. So I just didn't feel a need to give them a wall jump. Oh, there are, according to the Maniac, there are official 3D Terraria toys. Okay, so there you go.
Are there?
Am I sure there were no sticky rockets? If there are and I missed them, I'll be really sad, but I couldn't find any. Can the Terrarian have the weapon Terrarian Yo-Yo and the Star Flurry that you get from the moon? Well, he does have the Terrarian Yo-Yo. That's actually an item that he gets. The Star Flurry, though, I don't think I gave him that. And I guess I actually should bring up as well the difference of opinion on what items the Terrarian should have. I forget if I actually bring this up in the video or not, but I think the reality of it is there are so many different weapons in Terraria. When making a moveset on them, there are no two movesets that are ever going to be the same. There just aren't. Like, if you take 500 different people with no communication with one another and ask all of them to make a Terraria moveset, all 500 movesets would be so drastically different. There's no way there'd be any two that are identical. That's just impossible. Like, there are just so many different weapons because of that. So it's like, ultimately, it's up to you what weapons you prefer. The weapons that I chose to give the Terrarian just are the ones that feel best to me. Yes, the brain of Chipotle.
Yeah.
Terrarian's taunt should have a slime appear, hopping in circles around the Terrarian. As Terrarian does the sword swing at the slime at the right time. Again, again. So, literally anyone bringing up a different idea. Like, I would love to hear your ideas for them. But, there are, again, just so many different ideas. Because, Terrarian's so limitless. Terraria is such a big game. The idea, there are just limitless numbers of ideas that can be done for Terraria. Do I think Chipotle should be a Terraria boss? I mean, it's already a colon boss, so I mean... Terrarian should have a Terrarian has died appear when Terrarian is KO'd. I guess. Probably in the corner or something. That'd be funny. And the Terrarian wall cling. No. Again, I know there's that item that you can get that lets you lets you wall jump or even stick to the wall. In this case, no. Should post Demonite Crimtane Terrarian have a floaty double jump because of the rocket boots? Nah, because I think the rocket boots are enough as a recovery. Can Terrarian have pie as a taunt? Is there pie in Terraria? I mean, I'd believe it if you told me there were. Yeah, as Cooper, it all boils down to a matter of what weapon out of the 50-page essay of tools there are in the game do you want him to use. Yeah.
The Terrarian would be the most versatile fighter in Smash. In this essay, I will.
This idea was originally suggested by Joshua Perry. If you get the Terrarian with random, they enter the stage with a teleportation potion as opposed to the magic mirror? I don't quite understand the reference on that one. Are we allowed to talk about Deltarune Chapter 2 yet? I mean, you can. I think there's been enough time, but we're not really acknowledging that right now in this chat. We're just talking about Terraria right now. The torch taunt is more of an attack than a taunt? He's just placing a torch on the ground. How's that an attack?
Because you could step on the fire.
First Final Smash, he hits the opponents with a full 50-page essay on his tools. Terrarian Kirby should just be Kirby? I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
Basically, the teleportation potion teleports the Terrarian to a random location, implying that through luck, the Terrarian happened to enter the fight. Is that the case? I thought the teleportation potion still brought you to your home spawn. That's what I used them for. I mean, that's what I always used them for before I got the magic mirror. Like, I would use them to go back home. So I personally dislike most of the Terrarian's attacks being the same animation with a new tool, especially since you just said he would be 3D. I feel like there could have been some improvising there. That is fair. That's fair. I totally understand that. I guess it kind of just, it just boils down to, like, what would you have, like, yeah, what could we have him do? Like, because that is a fair critique. I totally get that. Recall is the home potion, not the teleport potion? Oh, there's a difference. Okay, gotcha. My webcam froze? What?
Oh, wow, it did.
Oh, it's catching...
Interesting.
There you go. It's catching up.
Yeah, it's catching up now, looks like. Oh, dear.
Oh, no. BJ got witch timed.
Okay, I think we're good. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, looks like we're good. That was weird.
Yeah, BJ got hit with the witch time.
I think the tier 1 down special shouldn't drop materials. Grenades are unique among the Terrarian explosives for not causing damage to terrain. Yeah, I get that. I guess that was mostly just like a liberty that I took just for the sake of balancing to make getting materials still a little easier. Especially when you're in tier 1 that early on, you're pretty weak. So you need to be able to get to, like, materials in any way possible that you can at that point. Plus, I mean, if you think about it, the, correct me if I'm wrong, if you kill an enemy with the grenades, won't they still drop materials that way? Are what if 101 onward still going to be on the same schedule? They should be. Unless for whatever reason I changed my mind, they should be. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah. Grenades will still make enemies drop materials. Because, yeah, enemies in general drop materials if you kill them anyway.
Yeah.
One of the Terrarians all could have been Steve's color scheme. There were already a lot of people that got mad at me just for even implying the idea that Terraria and Minecraft have any similarity. Like, people got really offended by that, actually, which is funny to me. Like, I get that Terraria definitely is its own thing. It's its own charm. But to sit there and try to deny the similarities that the games do have is completely ignorance. They do have similarities.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's not to say that, they are each their own game, but they both have similarities. You can't deny that. Why didn't I use the Zenith as the final smash? Because the Moon Lord was a way cooler idea.
Yeah.
The final smash should have had them use the Zenith to kill the Moon Lord. It doesn't ultimately matter what they use to kill the Moon Lord. If you want it to be the Zenith to do it, that's fine. It's whatever. Like, I personally don't care myself. Like, I just like the idea of the Moon Lord being the one, being his last final smash. Are you taking requests in this stream? Yes, yes, I am.
Yeah, I've been trying to stay on top of it.
Well, thank you. One of Terraria's window tooltips is to say also try Minecraft. So they literally promote each other. That's funny. Dash attack should be the shield of Cthulhu, and it would be a cool gimmick to allow the dash attack to be used in midair. Well, I don't think Terrarian needs any additional move, like any additional for this moveset anyway. I don't think they need any additional kind of mechanical gimmicks because it's already a very gimmicky moveset.
Yeah.
As for the dash attack as the shield of Cthulhu, it's like that's a fine idea. I don't mind that myself. Where were the Terrarian drawings? You use drawings for characters in like not every episode. I only make the drawings when I come up with an attack that doesn't have an in-game animation. Because every single attack for Terrarian I used an in-game animation for, I didn't need to do any drawings. Heck, even Spider-Man. Like, when the Spider-Man, that did not have a single drawing in it. Like, that was all footage. Also, for the record, the bosses are demonic, not demons.
That
they're not they are demonic, but they're not demons.
Do the rest of you see what's wrong with that statement?
Anyway, moving on.
Yeah.
See. Your brain officially is it your Chipotle brain?
Yes.
What if Terrarian Grab use summons to attack and be buffed while using summoner armor? That's not a terrible idea. I do actually like that. I think I just preferred the idea of them using various kinds of like traps as the for like the throws. Who's typing?
It's not me.
How's it picking up my goddamn? Mike, you're fired.
What kind of microphone do you have?
Blue Yeti.
Yeah, that's probably why.
It shouldn't. It's not allowed.
Blue Yetis pick up everything.
Illegal.
I'm speaking from experience.
Well, shouldn't he be able to like lower the what is it?
I have.
That's weird.
No, that's just how powerful Blue Yetis are.
Okay, you know what? Yeah, honestly, it might just be Discord because like I have been adjusting like input sensitivity mostly for like D&D stuff.
Hold on, I think there's a setting in Discord that you can utilize for that.
Yeah, no, I got it. I got it.
Let me see. Which one was it? I think it was. That's not it. Actually, no. I think it is it. Echo cancellation, noise reduction. I think it's one of those two.
Would there have been a way to incorporate different classes without it being too chaotic? I'm sure there is. Like, I'm sure there is. That's kind of the short answer there. In my moveset, probably not, because there's already a lot going on in my movesets. So, like, I wanted to stick to, like, every single attack, for the most part, doing the same thing, regardless of what tier you're in. It's just things get more powerful. With only slight changes to moves here and there as it progresses. But, like, the idea of, like, having a moveset that's like strictly melee, strictly range, strictly magic, strictly summoner, I feel like that would be a lot. It's literally already chaotic. I guess in what way would you say it's chaotic? Because it is a straightforward moveset. It's mostly the progression. It's really just the progression that probably is the most intimidating part about it. Because beyond that, it's, again, like I just said, the moveset itself stays consistent. Like, the only things that really change amongst the movesets are, like, the side smash and then the specials. That's it. Everything else stays the same. It's just the weapons that change. But everything else stays, like, the actual attacks themselves don't change. It's like, what? Is it just the progression you don't like? There should be a unique victory screen for when Steve from Minecraft and Terrarian beat each other. One example can be based off the fact that they promote each other. Okay. Alright, so I guess, is there anything else? Would he get items from assist trophies? Good question, actually. I don't see why not. I would say, yeah, being able to beat up assist trophies, that's like another mob. You beat it up, you get materials out of it. So yeah, I don't see why not. You could easily, yeah, beat up an assist trophy and get materials out of that guy, too. Alright, so I guess, are we good on Terrarian then? I'm not exactly a big fan of the progression. Like, it's a really cool concept. Props to that dude, really well made. But I feel like it's a bit too complex and would take really long to fully do it. And that's fair. Like don't get me wrong. It would, like, I'm not gonna kid myself and claim that it would be easy to pick up. It would definitely take some time to get used to, for certain. Idea on stamina matches. Terraria drops a grave upon being KO'd. That'd be funny.
And the grave does damage.
I think there should have been more summoner representation in the moveset, at least using the whip. Okay. The grave would spike. Oh no.
From beyond the grave.
If the Terrarian used his final smash during the fight and won the match, can the trophies of the bosses they killed be in the corner of the victory? That'd be funny. Like an achievement kind of deal. That'd be kind of funny. Alrighty, so I guess, are we good on Terraria then? Like, are we good to move on? Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, Dylan Watts. All right, I think we're good to move on. All right, so character 93, Makoto Naegi, or in general, yeah, the Danganronpa character. So, thoughts on Makoto? Would Makoto's punishment be the after-school lesson? I mean, yeah, of course it would. Except this time it works.
Yeah.
Is Makoto's final smash shown... Wait. Each character, their ultimate closing arguments. Wait. Oh. Okay, so I know some people actually brought that up. I know what you're asking. Yeah, if Makoto lands their final smash on a character, as it shows the manga pages kind of flip by, will it show like their own unique thing? And I'm gonna say no to that. I think it's fine just being the same for all characters because generally, even in Danganronpa, the culprit in those manga pages are always silhouetted. Like you always know who it is, but the manga pages always silhouettes them. So I think it'd be the same here. I don't mind most of Makoto's ults, but I feel like maybe Byakuya, but especially Nagito, feels too different from Makoto's personality-wise to fit in as an alt. Maybe they should be replaced by somebody else. I think that's why, for the most part, I made the movesets kind of generic personality-wise. Like, the most amount of personalities you're going to see from them are, like, their quotes. Because, like, even, like, their taunts and victory animations, they're kind of just generic. And I made that with the idea of there being 8 different alts. So, it's really their quotes that separate them. But what do you mean when you say that Byakuya and Nagito, their personalities clash too much with the moveset? Like, what do you mean by that? So my main thing with Makoto is that I'm not really sure if he needs to have the hacking gun. I feel like it should be Ace Attorney style where he points his finger since he can use moves without it. I think I mostly wanted the hacking gun because it is actually an in-universe like thing that exists that acts as a parallel. Even in Ultra Despair Girls, it does act as that parallel. And I felt like it was the best way to kind of bring out that catalyst. Especially since when you compare Ace Attorney to Danganronpa, Ace Attorney really are just court cases. Danganronpa is something a little bit more. Like, they are cases, but it's definitely a lot more of a fight for your life kind of deal. So I feel like the hacking gun was necessary for that. Like, to kind of emphasize the fact that it really is much more of a life or death kind of situation. As opposed to Ace Attorney where it's like, oh no, I lost a case. I'm gonna quit being a lawyer.
It's like, oh no, I lost a case. There goes my money.
How am I gonna pay rent this month? As opposed to in Danganronpa, where if you lose, you literally die.
Yeah. Well, there goes my money.
Your problem was the hang joke? I mean, I apologize for that. Would Kaede's punishment be... Okay, so that's actually a solid question. Assuming the idea that... From LX5. Assuming the idea that my Monokuma moveset and my Makoto moveset were in the same game, would each alt have their own unique punishment animation? And I don't see why not. Like, I feel like it might be the same as well for characters in Smash. I don't see why they can't have just slightly unique animations depending on the costumes. Maybe have something that involves Makoto's sister Komaro? You mean aside from the fact that she's an alt? So how exactly does the hacking gun work? Do you just yell into it and it shoots ammo or something? No, it's literally it shoots digital bullets. Like how did Byakuya describe it? They were like they were literally like like digitized code that was shot. That when shot into machinery effectively like fries them from the inside out. Now obviously the idea of that working against humans actually can't work. But that is just kind of the liberty of Smash. Like, it's actually kind of a similar liberty to how the Ace Attorney works. Memory's kind of foggy, but I think the almost clean animations of the moveset don't really fit Nagito's more wild personality. Wild personality. I know he's crazy, but I don't think that would mean that he would do certain attack animations any differently than any other person. He's crazy, but like he's not an idiot. He'll still do things in the way that he thinks are most effective. Like, he's not the kind of guy that sits there going, like, wildly, like, waving his arms around like a nut. He doesn't do that. He's just, like, he's just obsessive. You gotta admit, though, the hacking gun does look like a megaphone. I mean, it does. Like, they even make that joke in the game.
Yeah. And you know, the thing, too, is that I feel like in the world, I feel like in context of Smash, I feel like that's also kind of a moot point because there are a number of characters that, like, while they are all like either clones or even echoes of each other, their personalities are varyingly different. Like, Ryu is very different from Ken.
Yeah. Though, to be fair, those two were trained by the same person.
They were trained by the same person, but, like, if we're going by, like, you know, oh, these two are, like, personality-wise, they're too different from each other, then, yeah, bring that up to Ken and Ryu.
Ray's not a mod? I think the wrench next to their name would beg to differ.
Yeah.
Yeah, Marth and Lucina are very different in terms of personality.
Yeah, and you know what? So is Pit and Dark Pit.
Yeah, they still fight identically.
Yeah.
Heck, really, even like the Koopalings. The Koopalings are all drastically different in personality.
Yeah, it's like, as long as they have, like, similar moves or similar builds, like, to how they play, like, majority of the time, then that's good. That's grounds enough to either make them an Echo or just, you know, another costume.
Okay, well, I guess... Okay, so I feel like we're getting a little bit off topic here. When playing as Komaru, Toko should show up for one of her taunts and in her final smash to reference the ending to Ultra Despair Girls. I guess. That would be a nice detail. What alts would you give Makoto if there was more than an 8 costume limit? So, it's like what other characters in general? Oh, I don't know. Like, I feel like the 8 that I picked kind of worked kind of like just like the de facto ones. Like, you could just use like any other Danganronpa character, but like, I feel like the 8 that I chose was like the most solid. Imagine if you used the down throw on Luigi and uses his down taunt. I don't think it'd reach. It probably wouldn't reach.
Yeah.
Plus, I think I didn't say this in the video, so actually I'll make a point of it here. When using down taunt on a character with a hitbox taunt, the hit box is turned off. Kibo? Kibo was actually one that I considered, but then I asked myself, which was probably more... It was actually a really tough decision. Because honestly, I really did kind of finagle between Kibo and Kaede. Those, I think, were the two big ones. Out of curiosity, would you make other Danganronpa characters movesets like Kyoko? Well, Kyoko I made as a costume in this, so I probably wouldn't do Kyoko. And that's it depends on the character, I'd say. Down throw, thank you. Robophobic.
So you'd make Junko into a character, right? Well, I'll have that.
Oh yeah, Toko. Yeah, well, specifically, well, not really Toko. More specifically, Genocide Jack. That would be a moveset.
Yeah.
Why does YouTube keep pausing my music?
I don't know.
Oh, it's buffering, that's why.
Not allowed.
For the losing animation, there could be a sign with the character's face on it with a cross. That'd be dark, but really good. I like that idea. I actually really like that idea. That'd be dark, but it makes a lot of sense.
Oh. I can't believe it. I was the blackened.
I'm writing that one down, actually. Hold on. You said it was Dreamcasty and Turnip that said that one in chat? Alright, I'll write them down. Dark. Okay, well, like, I feel like... Bring up Celeste there, Carolyn. I feel like the hardest thing about giving other general Danganronpa characters a moveset is because you really have to keep in mind... Because I was able to get away with it with Makoto and the other 7 characters that I threw as his costumes here. Because, I based it around the general gameplay of Danganronpa. But if you just make a moveset based on a character's personality, I feel like that would be a lot more forced. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Gun?
There's only so because like there's only so much you can be like, oh, this character does this because they're happy.
Gundam of the Ganondorf Echo when? Oh no. Would I do a character from a board game? Only if that board game has had a video game. Akane as the Ganondorf Echo. Alright, well, I guess Is there anything else about Makoto's moveset specifically? Yeah, I'm just seeing people getting off topic now. So I guess I'll be good on Makoto then?
Looks like it.
Alright, I guess we're good on Makoto. Alrighty then. 94... Bird. Thoughts on the Angry Birds?
Well, first and foremost, and I remember seeing a lot of people saying this, even in this chat, that people just want to know why the design from the movie.
Because in terms of a fighting game,
yeah, why the movie design, not the game design?
It allows him the most variety. Because the movie design is canon. It is canon. Like, it has been used in video games, and there are even well, it doesn't even have to be the movie. Here's the thing. It doesn't even have to be the movie design specifically. I just want him to have limbs. I want him to be able to have limbs for certain attacks, but then to be able to ball up like real birds do for certain other things. So I would say, I think this could very well be a situation where the design looks closer to the classic limbless designs, but has limbs. That, I think, is what the case is here. Plus, honestly, I think also a big thing, too, I just fell in love with the backhand. When you're angry, you want to backhand people. You can't backhand people if you don't got hands.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Apparently, Diglett can learn Scratch without hands.
The movie design isn't a video game character. I mean, Red is, though.
Yeah, he is.
Like, just because he has a separate movie design doesn't mean that he himself isn't a video game originated character. He just has a movie.
Yeah.
Oh, and let's not just also forget the fact that you've also done SpongeBob and Goku, who originally were not game characters.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you've
recently Spider-Man.
You've gone, and Spider-Man too. So it's like, I mean, you've technically gone the other way around. I mean, yes, they're games, and that's the biggest criteria that you have for even including them. But I mean, you've gone the other route too. So it's like, I don't know. To me, it just sounds like they're just, pissy because I never saw the Angry Birds movie, so I don't know if it's good or not. But that's really just what it sounds like.
Yeah, that really is what it was. The movie was just really bad.
Okay.
I mean, I saw it. I didn't think it was terrible. I didn't think it was spectacular. I was just more indifferent about it myself. But the actual designs of the characters, I never thought were bad. I thought they were okay. Like, I never had a problem with them myself.
Danny has to feel that Ark got a moveset. No, Maniac, this is not my D&D character. It's like,
D&D
yeah,
counts, right?
it's like,
I feel
context. We're playing Curse of Strahd over on Spiffy Needle Geeks, and I am playing a bird barbarian.
Okay. Maybe let the birds call in other members of the flock instead of using their abilities? That is an option, yeah, but I feel like for the sake of just things being a little bit smoother, I'd rather them just being able to use each other's abilities. That's just me, though. Male birds don't lay eggs. I'm aware of that. But birds also don't shoot themselves out of slingshots. So, I mean...
Birds losing animation should just be them seething in anger. No clapping, no respect for their opponent, just pure rage.
Oh, for sure. They'd be mad. They'd be really mad. For sure. Like, these birds are not good sports. They got anger issues. For the Angry Birds down tilts. Oh, where'd he go? He could swing his wing down to the ground in front of him? What's wrong with the peck? He pecked. What's wrong with peck?
Peck you.
Angry Birds are the only thing that makes Doomguy tremble in fear.
I mean, Ray isn't wrong. That's very real. That's just a fact. The birds are way too differently shaped to be alts, and that kind of goes back to what I was saying before about how their limb designs in this theoretical moveset idea for Smash would be kind of these new designs based more around the classic looks. And yeah, I realize obviously we got Red is kind of ball shaped, Chuck is a triangle, and then we have Bomb and Matilda that are a little more ovulo. But I think a big part of that also is the fact that their limbs would, like, in these theoretical ideas for these designs, their limbs would mesh together, and their hurt boxes would just be in the same places. They would just look different. So I personally think it would be fine. Like, I don't think it'd be that big of a deal myself.
Matt MC wants to know, was the idea for the Angry Birds in Smash always the flock as one character, or was it originally just going to be Red?
Let me think back on that one. Let me see. Because I do remember that I was kind of going through some conflicting ideas for this one myself. I don't actually remember. Maybe originally I thought of the idea of the other birds just being echoes. But I think I ultimately decided that just them as costumes would be okay. Movie Chuck is a literal banana. Well, again, that's assuming we're not even using the movie designs. I'm saying like the limb design for Chuck. I at some point I'll have to make like a proper actual theoretical design for these characters. Actually no, I don't think I do. I think there actually is a video game that gives the birds limbs but isn't their movie designs. What was it called? It was Dream something, Dream Blasts. I'm probably totally. I probably got the completely wrong name there. There was actually this cutesy looking Angry Birds game that does give them limbs, but it's not their movie designs. They're like whole new designs, but they're all more round. So something like that I was thinking. It was some puzzle game? Yeah. It was something like that. Doesn't change the fact that that movie Chuck is a literal banana. I mean, yeah, fair. It was Dream Blast. It was Dream Blast. Wow, I can't believe I guessed that.
In fact, actually, let's see. Boop.
Yeah, it's like if they used something like that. I wish I can show this to the chat, but I really can't. I guess if one of you guys want to post that link into the chat for people to look at.
Yep, hold up.
Or actually, no. Better yet, I can probably just do this. Hold on. Save image. Give me 1 second, guys. Save that to downloads. And then if I do something like this, hold on. Image. Okay. Browse. There we go. So something a little closer to this, maybe. So that was kind of the idea that I had in mind. Like, it doesn't exactly need to be this. It could still, like, look closer to what, like, you know, like, how you see red in the corner there, but, like, in terms of their body shape, maybe something like that.
Kind of like in between.
A bit, yeah, I'd say.
The Angry Birds could drop feathers when KO'd.
Alternatively, it could just be the legs sticking out, and the arms could be hidden inside the feathers until they're used for an attack. Well, that's the thing. It's they don't really hide their arms inside. Like, birds don't really hide their arms inside their feathers. They're just pressed against their bodies so close that it looks like they're hidden. It's like I said on Twitter back when I first posted this episode. It's like, birds can go from tall to ball in an instant.
Yeah.
So the idea of them having having wings and legs present, but then being able to kind of morph down into a ball, press their wings against their sides, and then like tuck their legs in like real birds can do. Like it's not that unbelievable.
It's like, dude, have you seen owls with their legs?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, the design of Stolas from Hell of a Boss is not exactly wrong. The owls actually have long legs.
Yeah, you just don't see them.
It's kind of freaky, actually.
They can just poof into feathers when KO'd in stamina. That's funny. Rowlet would be a really good Angry Bird. Oh no.
It's a beach ball.
For the aerials, they could have used the abilities of Stella's Flock, having a lot more air mobility. I think I opted against that, mainly because I did keep in mind the possibility of ever doing a moveset for Stella's Flock, if that were to ever come up. So I think I wanted to keep them separate. Like, I know I referenced Stella's Bubble as the shield in this in this Angry Birds moveset, but that is because Stella actually is kind of a part of that flock too.
Good plays. Look up a featherless owl. Okay. I will do that. And yeah, a featherless owl just looks like a naked chicken.
I love the backhand back air, but I think having Hal's boomerang ability would make a lot more sense. I don't think it would. I could not find a good place for Hal for the boomerang. I just couldn't. Like, that I think if I tried putting into this moveset, it would be really forced. Like, just for the sake of having it there. I could not find a good place for it. I just couldn't. One of their taunts or idle animations could be their balled up flip like in the older games. I could see that. Probably as an idle. I'd probably be better as an idle. I like how the slingshot for smash attacks, but I personally used it as a down special. That's why I wanted different birds for specific attacks. Well, that's why I generally relegated like the major birds' abilities into the special attacks. Like, obviously you have like Bubbles and Tony as like some or no, not Tony. Well, I guess yeah, Tony, and then like Silver as like basic attacks. But for the most part, I really wanted the slingshot to be smash attacks, specifically for that cancellation gameplay, being able to shoot yourself and then go into any direction. because I know a lot of people brought up the idea of like the slingshot being a special, but I really, really, really wanted the 4 main birds aside from red to be specials because they just make so much sense. Blue being neutral special because he acts like a projectile. You know, Chuck being side special because he literally darts forward. Matilda being up special because she launches herself in the air after laying the egg. And then Bomb being down special because he just explodes in place. Like thematically and consistency-wise, that makes the most sense. So like that's why I relegated the slingshot as the side and up smashes. Because I really wanted the main abilities of the other birds to be specials. Okay, back anyway. I think there should 100% be a victory animation where you hear pig noises close to the camera. The camera is high up, and you see the bird flying at the camera from a slingshot. That's kind of like one of the victory animations that I already have.
Imagine the Angry Birds fighting against Ganondorf, the Pig King. That's got to be the classic route. That's the boss of the classic route. Is Ganondorf.
Ganon. That's hilarious. Actually, you're right. We'll have to keep that.
Make a note of that for when we eventually get to that aesthetic stream.
We'll have to keep that. I mean, I'm sure we'll remember it. There's no way we can't forget that. There's no possible way.
Will the pigs get their own moveset if enough people request them?
Yep, that's general answer for everyone who's been asking if I'll do a moveset on so-and-so character. It's the same answer. If they get enough requests.
So start requesting if you want them.
Bringing home the bacon. Jeez.
Kazooie was the original Angry Bird.
I mean, yes. There's just no denying on that one.
Yeah, now people are just talking about Terrence.
Other than, well, I guess is there anything else really to talk about with with the Angry Birds?
Yeah, related to the Angry Birds moveset. Is there anything else that anyone wants to bring up?
3-star victory display different numbers of stars depending on the player's performance.
That would be a neat attention to detail. I actually like that. I'm writing that down. I actually like that idea. Hold on.
Yeah, that's Julie
Aguilar.
Aguilar?
Yeah.
Aguilar?
Yeah.
I'm sorry about mispronouncing that.
Are you related to Koichi's voice actor?
And the thing is, that wouldn't even be that hard to do because that already happens in classic route, in like the classic route. Like the game's already designed to be able to give you a score based on how you actually performed in game. So that wouldn't even be that hard to do, which I think is the coolest part.
Oh yeah, the victory animation should.
Oh, it could show. So I meant the right. Got it. Feel like the up smash should be Terrence? In what way? Because Terrence smash, Terrence don't jump. And I made the down throw Terrence. Boy, smash you. Plus, I would rather the up smash be the slingshot, so that way you can shoot yourself upwards. Because then and they're both the side and the up smashes are angleable smash attacks. So side smash is relegated to like being able to like do these angles. Up smash then lets you do these angles. What did I make the other throws for Angry Birds? Let me say. Oh, the slingshot. No, I actually like aside from the Terrence one. Yeah, the other throws are him using the slingshot to throw you.
Oh, thank you, Michael RJ, for the donation.
Yes, thank you.
I can imagine a whole nother reign of a Smash Brothers games just for all of these characters.
Jeez. Well, no, the down smash isn't the slingshot. The down smash was the bird quake, where the bird balls up and then smashes the ground to cause a quake on both sides, which references the actual power up called bird quake, as well as Tony, Terrence's cousin.
Spooky Squash wants to know, can you aim the bird smash attack?
Yeah, I just said that.
Okay.
You can do it.
All right, are we good to move on? Because I'm just seeing a lot of Terrence talk.
Yeah, it's like just Terrence.
When Red uses other birds' abilities, he turns into that specific bird. That kind of defeats the purpose of the costumes. Like that's why I have the costumes. Okay, so there's nothing else. There's nothing else then on Angry Birds. Like no one had any other issues with it. It would be pretty cool if you could hear battle cries from the birds that the birds do when slingshotted. Oh yeah, oh for sure. I think that would actually be like if you shoot them from the slingshots for the smash attacks. Yeah, they shout their battle cries. I think yeah, that would just be perfect. Terrence should be. Terrence is an attack. He's the down throw. He's a down throw. Like, Terrence is in the moveset. Don't worry, guys. I didn't forget Terrence. He's a down throw.
He exists.
All right. I think we're good to move on then.
Yeah, it's like, I don't think that's enough.
All right. Zomboss and the Horde from Plants vs. Zombies. So only major mistake, editing-wise, that I actually did make in the video was the title card, where I used the wrong spelling of the word horde, and I accidentally... Unlike what I did, unlike what I did for Papyrus and Sands, I actually did put the wrong pronunciation of was and were in the title. It should have said were, not was. I fixed it for the thumbnail, but the actual in video title card couldn't be fixed, unfortunately, at that point.
Yeah.
That's forever tainted. But that was just me not realizing that there was two different forms of the word horde, because again, English is dumb. But then also the was were thing for the title card, that was my first villain character with the black background that needed that pronunciation changed. And just because of how I have a lot of my files set up, I didn't realize that it wasn't changed when I made that. So that was a mistake on my part. But beyond those, thoughts, issues, or opinions, or ideas in general for Zomboss and the Horde. So really, the brown coat zombie.
I actually have quite the lengthy comment from Mr. Maniac that he wants me to share.
Okay.
Okay, let's see. There's something I wish to talk about regarding your moveset for Zomboss. For starters, I do want to clarify, I think the moveset is very well done and represents the zombies very well. There's just one problem. It isn't even a Zomboss moveset.
Exactly.
I can't speak...
That's the real quickly, I'm gonna cut you off. That's the point. The point is that it's not as it more represents the zombies, not Zomboss, because Zomboss likes to push his work under other people and then take all the credit. That's the point.
Okay. All right. Well, continuing on regardless. I can't speak for the 600 plus people who requested for Zomboss, but I feel it's safe to say when they requested for Zomboss, they wanted actual Zomboss. If I had to make my own take on a Zomboss moveset, I'd probably put him in a modified version of the Far, Far Future robot from the boss from Plants vs. Zombies 2. I'm well aware the point is a preference thing, but it still gets to the point of Zomboss actually being the one the player is playing with. And the thing is, the moveset isn't even bad. On an actual moveset, and it's just the theming of the characters, it just feels, I don't know, I guess clickbaity? That's probably a better word for it, but you get the idea. It's basically smacking the people who wanted a Zomboss moveset in the face and giving them the scraps. The moveset itself just sort of lives in this limbo of, I want to love it because it's a good representation of the characters in question, but it's not what anyone was asking for.
And I can understand that. I can. Like, if you actually wanted to play as Zomboss, I can get that. I guess my biggest problem was that making a moveset where you just play as Zomboss specifically wouldn't really represent the series of what it actually is well enough. And you can't have Zomboss fight close combat like the zombies do, because he doesn't do that. He's a coward. So I totally get that. I do. Right. I mean, what about Pokemon Trainer? You fight as the Pokemon, not as the trainer. And that kind of is what this is.
Yeah.
It is a different situation, though, because, again, yeah, people probably think that Zomboss could have fought, like, Eggman style. But, again, I feel like that wouldn't really represent what the zombies do, I find. So, I totally get your point, I do, but, like, I feel like making a moveset where Zomboss just fights, like, in a mech, like, that would kind of just be a bit of an injustice to the character. That's just me, though. Like, I get that people probably wouldn't didn't care for the idea that you're not actually playing as Zomboss, but as a zombie. But I feel like if I attempted to make a moveset for Zomboss, I wouldn't like how it would come out. I just wouldn't. I feel like I wouldn't be able to represent the character as well as, like, I could as I did in this means. Thank you, Malik. Pikmin does more of the fighting than Olimar, the captain who gives the order to the Pikmin soldiers. I guess the difference there is that Olimar actually does do his fair share of fighting as well, though. He does have some of his own attacks. Though I guess that well, at the same time, that also mostly represents the fact that the captains actually can fight in Pikmin. Like, even if you don't have any Pikmin, you do still have a way to defend yourself. It's just not very effective. Just like in Smash, actually. That's Olimar's theming. Like, he can fight, it's just he's very weak by himself. He needs the Pikmin. Alright, later, Maple. I feel like even if you put Zomboss on the stage, the moveset is still good because the moveset would center around the zombies attacking for him. So, like, maybe like, what'd be the difference? I would say, like, character smoothness, I'd say. Because I think he's implying that if Zomboss actually was on stage and his attacks had zombies appear and do the fighting, I feel like that wouldn't transition that well as a moveset. Because at that point, what's even the point of him being there then?
Yeah.
Because, like, even, like, in his boss fights, when you actually fight him, he's never direct. He's always sending zombies out to do his fighting for him, while he's in the background picking you off. And that's what he does. He's a coward. Well, I mean, like, the zombies coming out of the cockpit itself, that's how I that's how I envision the moveset. Well, again, then what's the point of him even being there if he's just throwing zombies to do all the fighting for him?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that would be forcing him onto the stage for no reason other than just to have him on the stage.
Carson Binotto says, I really like this moveset. My only worry is telling things apart when multiple people are playing a Zomboss. Maybe his mech and them summoned zombies should change with the alts to reduce confusion?
Yeah, and I imagine they would. I think, if I'm perfectly honest, I think a big reason why I didn't really show the difference between the zombies, like the zombie types and Zomboss's mech, kind of laziness on my part. But no, the mech and the summoned zombies definitely would have differences, for sure. Like, they'd probably match more what the alt is. So, like, if you're using, like, the mummy zombie, the other zombies that appear would come from the ancient Egypt era. And, like, Zomboss's mech would appear kind of like what it does in the ancient Egypt era. So, that was mostly just laziness on my part. Kind of just letting people kind of come to that conclusion on their own.
Ryan actually brings up interesting. Should something happen with the zombies? Like, they say getting PTSD, but should something unique happen if they're specifically fighting a piranha plant or Ivysaur?
I don't know. What about Daisy? Does that count?
I don't think so.
What if when the zombie loses his losing animation, should have the zombie's body falling apart with a ball, like the smash ball in it? Wait, what about a ball? You had me up into the ball part. If the zombie dies in stamina mode, his head just pops off. Is that too graphic for Smash, or would it not be? Because it's a zombie.
You can make it cartoonish.
It's cartoonish, but I don't know.
Well, Ender Geo says when the zombies reach 300%, their arms fall off, just like in the game.
You know what's sad? I thought about that, but too many of their attacks involve their arms, which is why I only relegated the arm falling off thing as a taunt. I would also suggest an actually playable Zomboss could perhaps use a different Z-Tech robots from Garden Warfare 2. So in short, using different inventions and zombies to high damage? To high advantage? Yeah, see, I really just don't know.
When zombie dies in stamina, he keeps fighting since he's already dead.
Dang.
It's hardcore.
I know the word. Yeah, I know the word death is in Smash, but again, like I guess it's the idea of
Actually showing it.
Well, because they're already dead. I think it's more so the dismemberment thing.
Yeah.
Like, would that be allowed? I don't know where that. I'm not saying whether or not like it just isn't allowed, because I just don't know. Like, where does that fall? Like, would that up the game rating, or would that be okay? Because I just don't know. Like, how does that work in terms of walking corpses?
Zomboss yells at the zombies while the zombies are clapping.
I know Japan is very sensitive to beheading and stuff. Are they?
Yeah, they are.
Well, that might answer your question then. Or my question, I should say.
Yeah.
Wow.
Beheading and dismemberment in general is usually censored.
Gotcha. So I think that answers the question then. So it just wouldn't work. Ridley does straight up impale people, but it doesn't show the aftermath of that. Like, it doesn't show like a huge hole in their body afterwards. Like,
Yeah.
it kind of goes back to what I was talking about in the Scorpion video. Because in reality, a lot of the attacks that happen in Smash should do way more, like, physical damage than what's actually shown in Smash. Like, people should be getting cut apart, burned alive, like melting, breaking
Skewered.
apart. Yeah, skewered. Like, these characters should not be coming out in one piece, but they just don't take bodily harm, because that's just the point of the game.
Yeah.
The losing animation is the zombie watching a video of Dr. Zomboss staring at him disapprovingly. Yes, this happened in the comic.
Yeah.
I wouldn't, you know what, that would make a lot of sense, because Zomboss, again, he's the kind of guy who doesn't do any of the work, but then, yeah, when his zombies fails, I think it's mostly, he does that because then he can take the credit if he wins, but if they fail, he's like, well, I had nothing to do with that. That wasn't me. Like, I'm still a genius. I'm still great. he's literally that guy. Like,
Yeah. Me, fabulous me.
Could the huge wave of zombies approaching banner pop up when the final smash is activated?
yeah, that'd be funny. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah. Gotta love them aesthetics.
Zombies telling you to have a sunflower appear in front of the zombie and then he eats it. I don't know. Oh, I know. Maybe Zombie's Ultra Special with Zomboss help should have him put the block head on him. So the down special. I mean, I don't think I did the block specifically, but that's effectively what the down special is. The down special has Zomboss give Zombie protective armor.
How would the Kirby hat look?
Like the zombie, I imagine. Though, it would be funny if for some reason it still looked like Zomboss. He copied Zombie, but it still looked like Kirby's like, wait, what?
So, like, bug eyes and, veins all over his body?
No, I think it would just be the zombie head or something like that, probably.
The worst part of the moveset is you had to play Plants vs. Zombies 1.
1? No, Plants vs. Zombies 1 is the good one. Plants vs. Zombies 2 is the one that's garbage. Yeah, I'll say it. Plants vs. Zombies 2 was actually bad. I hated playing that game. It was such a chore. I did not like playing that game at all. Like, I actually had a horrid time playing that game. Plants vs. Zombies 1 was so good.
Okay, I think that was what Ryan meant. Like,
oh, 2. Okay,
They meant 2.
Gotcha.
Accidentally wrote 1.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. I was about to say, who do I gotta kick for calling Plants vs. Zombies 1 bad? Because that's the good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to echo Kirby's question. Because, again, I never played Plants vs. Zombie 2, so why was it bad? Like, what did they do to it that made it bad?
Part of it is the microtransactions, because it's an EA game.
Oh, of course.
But the worst part is the microtransactions aren't even well designed for the game. Because the game has huge difficulty spikes that encourages you to pick up the pay-to-win plants. Because here's the thing, they'll even have levels where you get to use the pay-to-win plants, but you can't keep them. So they encourage you to want to use them to have an easier time playing through the game. Problem is, not every level lets you use whatever plant you want. There are some levels that are really difficult that force you to use certain plants. Now, Plants vs. Zombies 1 did that, so that's not my problem. That design isn't the problem. The problem is they're making these level designs that are designed specifically to want you to get these stronger plants that you specifically have to buy to get through, only to not even be able to use them. And that is only half the problem. The other half of the problem is, well, not even the other half. Another major problem is the zombie types are obnoxious. There are a lot of zombies in this game that act like I get the idea that zombies are supposed to. You're supposed to use certain plants to be able to counter certain zombies. The problem is the game's general RNG element, does not really allow you to be able to use certain plants when you need them. So there are a lot of just really obnoxious zombie types that'll just tear through your plants and just waste so much of your time because you just cannot counter them on time. And then there's also the third problem. The level up system for the plants. You can level up your plants to make them stronger, to make them deal more damage, to reduce their cooldown times. It is pretty much unusable. Because you have to gather seeds to level them up. How do you gather seeds? With a very, very low chance of them even being able to spawn, I think up to 5 times a day from pinatas.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And you do have the option to raise it to 7 if you pay for it. So they were just
That's not fun.
There's a lot more things I can say about that game, but I just had a miserable time playing it. I detested playing it. And here's the worst part too. I've had people tell me and you know what? If you like the game, if you think it's cool and all, good on you. I'm not gonna judge you out loud, but I'm kidding. But it's I feel like it's a problem. You don't really have an argument by trying to claim it's the best game ever when you have people coming to me saying it's a fun game after you mod it. People have told me that
the purpose of it then.
Yeah, people have told me that the only way they've been able to enjoy this game is by modding it. That's a problem. All right, I'm done venting about that game. Back to Zomboss and the Zombie Horde. Anything else on that moveset?
Okay. Could there be a chance for the zombie to drop a coin when they lose a stock?
Can I use that coin to get my money back?
Yay!
The back air, just the back air.
I mean, Wario does it, so who cares? That back air just pretty much represents my feelings about Plants vs. Zombies 2 as a whole.
Yeah.
That's like calling Sonic 06 good because of Project 06. Oh yeah, there's a lot of really good Sonic 06 mods out there that make Sonic 06, somewhat a lot more of a joy to play. That doesn't mean Sonic 06 is good.
By that logic, it would be.
I have a major critique about this moveset. It got me addicted to Plants vs. Zombies again. I thought I escaped it after Crazy Dave.
What have you done?
When is Danny calling it request? We'll do it at the end. I just want to focus on the mistake stuff for now.
You'll get it with a money back guarantee.
The losing animation should have the zombies break a pinata and nothing comes out of it.
Disappointment.
Oh, it's a dud.
Alrighty, in which case, yeah, anything else about the moveset itself? When the zombie loses, you should be clapping not Zomboss because he can't own up to it. Yeah, Zomboss wouldn't even be there. That boy would be gone. I'm not being associated with this loss.
If I'm not on the losing screen, I'm technically undefeated.
Alright, so I guess we're good then on Zomboss?
Yes.
Because I feel like I spent most of that time just ranting about how bad Plants vs. Zombies 2 was.
Yeah.
Alright, I guess we're good on Zomboss then. Alright. So, moving right along. Fawful. Thoughts on Fawful? Was that moveset awful, or was it Fawful?
Yeah. But does the chat has Fury?
Yes, he is a bean.
Was it lawful?
Give Fawful a mech? What mech? He never uses a mech. Like, Fawful's actually an interesting kind of opposite to Zomboss, because Zomboss is a coward who likes to fight in the background. Fawful is a genius who likes to use inventions that specifically let him fight up close.
The head thing for Fawful seems broken. It just gives you better specials, and I know it breaks, but it still comes back.
Well, it doesn't totally give you better specials, because you still have to be able to aim them. Plus, you can't recover if it's not on your head.
Yep.
Somebody's asking about Pop Smarts?
What?
Can we add Pop Smarts to the moveset?
I don't know what that is. I barely remember the moveset, but he needs a bite attack. He has some big white pearly chompers, so yeah, this should make him bite at least once, but I barely... no, there was no biting. Yeah, like, I never gave him a bite attack. Mainly because, like, Fawful, for the most part, he may not be a coward, but he is still kind of, he is still kind of scrawny. Like, he's not that strong. Like, I think, if I recall correctly, literally the only move that I gave to Fawful that involves him actually physically hitting you is his dash attack and his down tilt, if I recall correctly. Let me see. Because both of those reference the same move. Yeah, now is when I ram you. Those are the only moves that Fawful has where he physically attacks you. Everything else, he uses a weapon or magic.
Okay. Apparently people are saying the Pop Smarts is, Plants vs. Zombies stuff.
Oh, okay. Well, we're on Fawful now. Should his dash attack change when he has his headgear on? I feel like him rolling forward would look awkward with the... No, because the headgear can poof away. Because that's something I don't think I actually... Well, thank you, Maniac. Now after what I had to say about Zomboss, I'm happy to say this is actually your best moveset you have ever made. Everything about it is absolutely perfect, and everything I would have done is made his default alt. The one thing I would have done is made his default alt the Bowser's Inside Story look, but otherwise it's your Magnum. Oh, thank you so much, Maniac. I really appreciate that. That is super generous of you.
Yeah, 100 Canadian doll hairs.
Thank you so much. I super appreciate that. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so I can't remember if I actually brought this up in the moveset or not. If I didn't, I apologize, but because Fawful does have a couple of attacks that you'd think wouldn't work with the headgear, like his up smash, for example, because he uses his antenna for that. But I think I made a point where I said that if he uses moves where it looks like the headgear would be in the way, the headgear would just quickly vanish for a second and then come back as soon as the move finishes. I think I did bring that up, actually. Like, specifically, like, for the antenna thing. So, like, I think it'd be the same for the dash attack. It's like, when he initiates the dash attack, the headgear would just quickly poof away, and as soon as it finishes, it would just reappear. I mean, technically, he uses Peach's castle as a mech. Okay, fair. But I don't think that'll fit on the stage.
hey, we can shrink it.
So what, Peach's castle can fight on top of Peach's castle?
Yeah. I mean, didn't we shrink Ridley to put him in the game because he was too big?
Well, and they made Olimar bigger.
Yeah. And that boy no longer the size of a quarter.
Is Midbis support? No, the closest thing to Midbis that I had in the moveset was the back air that I gave to him, which has him shoot an ice blast. That's the closest thing I was able to reference to Midbis. Like, Midbis otherwise really had no place in this moveset. Because Fawful does a lot, so it's like he did not need any help. Like, Fawful really can handle his own.
Yeah. I mean, he rose from nothing.
The best part of Fawful's video was it reminding me how amazing Bowser's insights are. Yeah, that's like the best one. It really is.
And anyone who says it isn't is just objectively incorrect. I don't make the rules.
Yes, the floor here is made up of smaller floor.
Oh, jeez. If a character from a mod becomes canon to the game that the game was modded, does that character become an option? If they become canon, I'd say then yes, that's fine. But if they're only a fan-made mod game, then no, it doesn't count.
Wasn't that the case when you were doing like that character from Toho?
Well, she was always official. She was never a fan character. She had fan-made games, but
okay, yeah, because didn't you say that, like, you know, just like Toho in general there's so much, it's made so much of fan content, and a lot of that fan content has become canon.
Yeah.
I don't know about canon, but they are official games. Like, canon to the story, probably, I don't think so. I don't think that's the case. But I would say the games that, like, got official licensing, like, to be put onto consoles or to be sold, those are official games. Because you can't sit there and make and sell games, like, from using other people's properties without, you know, the consent of the original property holder. So, like, even if the original creator of Toho, like, you know, is fine with people making fan content, he still has to give them an approval to be able to sell them. So,
Yeah.
Gotcha.
so a lot of those games probably aren't canon, but they are official. I'd say that's the difference. Like, there's a difference there, I would say. Anyway, back to Fawful.
Yeah.
For one of the taunts, I should have him spin a bean in his hand, just like Dr. Mario, but when it is... What? Okay. How far up will Fawful's headgear be in the air? A fair distance in the sky, I'd say. Like, you can definitely still jump to reach it, but it's hanging up. It's hanging out up there.
Random question: would Slenderman be a valid request?
Yeah, but I think that's a hard. I think that would count as non-video game, if only because I think he was a creepypasta first, made into a video game.
Yeah, but he technically had a video game,
So yeah.
so technically that counts. I think we had that discussion even with like character, like, because I remembered, like, okay, again, I know I've seen some people in the chat asking about like what are your limitations on movesets, and like one of the big ones was no real people.
Yeah.
You know, but then we got into the whole argument about, well, what about when you have somebody like Angry Video Game Nerd who is a character that actually does have video games now? So
Yeah.
is that enough to, you know, to breach that? And I think you said something that was okay, but
yeah, it is.
not like, but not like, you know, don't go requesting Sakurai.
Fawful's moveset could have been better, like his jab, air attacks, throw attacks, specials, and other... So is everything, then. Everything could have been better. Alright. maybe for Fawful's idol, he just pulls out a bean and eats it. Just a little nod to the outrageous amount of beans in Superstar Saga, but without changing the already amazing taunts. I guess. So I guess, is there anything else on Fawful then? Would Segata Sanshiro be a valid request? That's a weird one. I think Segata Sanshiro actually kind of falls into the same realm that Rob does.
Yeah.
Like, he was advertisement for video games. So, I think he's fine. And he has appeared in some video games too, so I think he's fine.
Yeah, he's married to Sakura from Sakura Wars.
When Fawful heals, they could show how much it heals him, just like in the MNL games. Yeah, sure. Yeah, that'd be a neat little detail. Does Fawful look more like a frog to you? I don't really get frog. I guess it's just because I'm so used to seeing him as a bean, because his head's literally shaped like a bean. So, like, I guess then, are we good on Fawful then? Because not a lot of people are really talking about Fawful.
Yeah, it's like, now it's like people are like, well, what about this character? What about this character?
Yeah, I think that's probably a good thing that we can move on then.
Alrighty, so...
All
Masked
right.
Man?
Yep. The Masked Man. And if you do not want Mother 3 spoilers, just big warning now.
Yeah, mute the stream.
It's like Mother 3 has been out for how long?
15 years, but it's also never been localized, so...
That's true.
I kind of just keep that in mind for people. So,
No more
thoughts on The Masked Man? I know Maple probably wanted to say something, so Maple loves Mother, so...
No more Fawful slander.
No thoughts on The Masked Man at all?
He's like,
I'm trying to avoid crying.
He's like, give us Mother 3?
Yeah, BJ, give them Mother 3. That's your job, right?
For his Lunasing animation, what if it's Klaus and Hinawa both as ghosts collecting?
But that would require something good to happen to him then. And he lost.
Why does he die in his third victory animation?
Because that, honestly, it's sad, but I would call it bitter, like really bittersweet. Yeah, because it's like because I think it's really implied that Klaus, when he disappeared in the mountains, I think it is implied that he did die. He was killed, and then like the the pig army found him and effectively used his corpse and to turn him into a robotic chimera. That's what he is. He's a soulless robotic chimera. It's his corpse is what it is. It does bring him back to life. But literally the only way that he was going to be able to be free from that, from that enslavement was through death, which is why he did what he did. It's super sad, but him finally reuniting with his mother, I think is the best possible victory for Klaus.
Okay. What is his psychic specialty?
It's hard to say for sure. He uses PK Love, and he has the Thunder attack. Now, I brought this up in the video. It's never explicitly said that it is called PK Thunder. It's just called a lightning attack. But I would like to think that it probably is something akin to PK Thunder because he's able to kind of just use it like at will. So that has to be some kind of magic.
Hmm.
Masked Man is baby's first Darth Vader. I mean, there's a lot of Darth Vader similarities, which is why I made that joke in the video.
He should have a counterattack. Everyone loves counterattacks.
Well, what do I get rid of then? Because literally all of his other moves reference some things that he actually does in the game.
Klaus is secretly a big daddy.
So he specializes in kinesis? I don't know about that. Like, because he and Lucas are twins, I would like to assume that they do have similar psychic powers.
Klaus, little daddy. That's adorable.
The moveset isn't as unnerving as you described. And you know why that is, James Joe? I think that's because I probably didn't do well enough putting it through in the doodles, like the drawings. Like, I think if I was able to animate them, like if I were animating these doodles like I initially wanted to do for this series, back way when I first decided to make it, I would have been able to maybe have conveyed that a little better. Like, because it's really the animations themselves that don't look right. Like, he's attacking in, like, really just out there weird ways. Like, let me see. Hold on. I might be able to, like, kind of, like, maybe mimic it a little bit myself here. So... like... I think also a part of that is because he moves in kind of weird ways, but at the same time, how he moves just doesn't feel right. Like, it really does feel like this is more of a puppet moving than it is a person. What if Masked Man is KO'd and the stamina mode creates an electric effect when you defeat him for the first time? I mean, he'd probably just explode. So, I mean, there could be an electric effect surrounding him as he's falling, but beyond that,
There's one major problem: his gimmicks. He lacks any notable game-changing gimmicks.
I mean, he has the same kind of gimmicks that like Lucas and Ness have. The like the floaty jump. But beyond that, his gimmicks, he's definitely a character whose gimmicks like lie in his theming and his attacks, I'd say. Like, he has no, aside from that floaty jump, he has no mechanical gimmicks, yeah, but he does still have gimmicks. Every Smash character has gimmicks. Even ones that don't seem like they have gimmicks, they still have gimmicks, I promise you that.
Yeah. And even then, like, some of the ones that aren't as gimmicky, it's like, you don't necessarily need one. Like, a definable one, that is.
Yeah.
The only complaint I have is, how dare you make me cry at the end?
I mean, Mother 3 can do that all on its own.
Yeah, he didn't need help with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like it's like for any of you out there who've never played Mother 3 but want to understand why, go check out Super Eye Patch Wolf's video on how Mother 3 just utterly breaks you.
Yeah.
I mean, he spends like nearly an hour going into detail about Mother 3, and it's a really good video.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, Maple. We're talking Mother 3 spoilers, but I made sure to warn everybody when we start talking about the characters. So if they're still here, that means that means they already know about it or they don't care. Unlike this guy who's asking how Klaus died. It's really sad how he dies, actually.
Yeah.
Oh boy, boy can't handle lightning that well.
Yeah. Pikachu's mean.
Surprisingly, very people here. Oh, very few people here. Or, wait, I think you missed a word in there.
Very few people never played Mother 3.
Well, I mean, it's not localized, so.
Yeah, there's a reason why people are constantly begging for it to be localized. Because, like, so many people say, like, out of all the Mother games, Mother 3 is the best one. And it's the one we don't officially have.
I think it is the best one. Like,
Yeah.
like, because I played Earthbound and Mother. I haven't played Earthbound Beginnings yet, but after playing both Earthbound and Mother 3, I can safely say Mother 3 is my favorite. Like that's just the one I like the most.
I still have to finish Mother 3. I remembered starting it a while ago, and I think like I just got caught up in other things, but I'm well aware of what happens because, you know, I'm friends with you.
So was there anything else on Mass Command then?
Can you bring it back?
Not even Palutena can grant us that one. So I guess is there nothing else on Klaus then?
Yeah, I don't think there was really all that much to talk about. It's like, yeah, I think this is a case of a lot of people not really knowing because they've never played Mother 3.
Yeah. All right, we'll go ahead and move on then. Oh boy, Monika.
Just
Yay!
Monika.
It's like, yay! Now, and I actually know what the heck you're talking about now, considering I've just witnessed Doki Doki Literature Club for the first time recently.
So, thoughts on Monika? I know the way you tried to go for Monika was without a lot of glitches and stuff, but I think some of them should be included, like her idle animation could be her glitching. Well, I mean, her idle animation is just her kind of hanging out, so I don't see why he should be glitching for that.
Okay, what if Monika's friends become more glitched the more damage Monika deals over time? It adds a slow-burning creepiness like the games have, and it adds an aesthetic that makes Monika subtly creepier.
Well, I feel like there'd already kind of be glitches anyway, because I kind of imagine that the girls would appear via glitches. Like, kind of just quickly like glitch their way in, do their thing, and then glitch out.
Okay. I think he's saying, like, the more damage you do, it's like they go from being, like, yeah, it's like Sayori, Natsuki, and Yuri, like, they initially come out and it's like, oh, it's their typical cutesy designs. But then over time, you see, like, the subtle changes that happens, like, when you're playing, like, day 2. Like, where you see, like, the weird, like, the realistic eyes, the realistic mouth.
Yeah.
I don't think it really needs that, because I feel like just playing the moveset in general will already give that vibe. She should have other girls as alts and replaces them in all the moves. No, you know what's sad, actually? that actually... Okay, so fun fact. That actually was my initial idea. My initial idea was to have Yuri as an ult for Monika, and then make an Echo Fighter with Sayori and Natsuki as like a costume for her. And I ended up deciding against that. What was my reasoning for doing so? I think the idea just didn't flesh out well enough for me. Like, the idea of the other girls doing a lot of what only Monika should be able to do. Like, I know Echo Fighter idea, whatever. But I feel like I much preferred the idea of Monika using her friends as attacks. Much in the same way how she kind of uses them in her game to try to get what she wants. Like, even though it doesn't really work out that well for her because she kind of just tries some things and it kind of backfires on her for the most part. But, I mean, yeah. I much rather what I went with here where just Monika is
Just
the character.
Just Monika.
And she
Just
uses,
Monika. Just Monika.
and she uses the other girls, like, their files as attacks and things like that.
Makes sense to me.
It's just Monika.
Monika's victory screen text should be based on who the opponent picks.
What do you mean who the opponent picks?
I guess the best waifu.
They're not the ones picking it, though.
It's like, well, if Monika wins, then Monika wins. See, that's what you're getting. You're getting just Monika.
Yeah, just Monika.
Yuri should have increased defense because she's defensive and an introvert. I based what they do off of not necessarily their personality. Well, yeah, their personalities for the most part, but also their general writing habits. Because again, Sayori, she's like this cutesy, bubbly girl. Everyone loves her, but she also writes about very serious things too. Like she's the like, her poems don't really always reflect her personality. They reflect her feelings. And her feelings are pretty straightforward for the most part. Yeah, happy or sad, depending. Natsuki, Natsuki, her whole deal is that, she's a tsundere. But she loves writing about cute things, like the bouncy things. And then Yuri's words do fit her personality a little bit more, but she has words with the deeper meanings, with the balance and such. But even like beyond like the directional inputs, like as for what I chose for the power gains, because I based it only on power and speed. I think I didn't really want to do defense because I feel like that might lead to a couple of exploits that might make Monika way too hard to kill.
Yeah.
Because no, you know what it was? Because her moveset is pretty much, her messing with you the entire game, just adding all kinds of status ailments. She needs to be easy to KO. And if you give her the ability to increase her survivability, she would be unbeatable. That is a moveset that would never die. That would be actually broken.
Yeah, you can't win.
Yeah.
Just unplug your controller, dog. Unplug your controller.
Monika's losing animation should just be a trash bin. Oof.
Your waifu is trash! Your waifu is trash!
Only thing I really disliked about the Monika was the smashes. I really don't like them and can't even envision how they'd work. I guess it would have been easier. I guess this is another one of those things where it would have been easier if I was for me to like get this one across if I animated it. But like I said, I imagine the girls themselves would appear like, and not even just like out of glitches. Well, I guess like out of glitches, like kind of like how they appear like during like the second acts of the game, like when they show up on screen. But I guess kind of like imagine where like for the side smash, for example, with Sayori, like literally as you charge, I guess like it's just Monika there by herself, but then when the attack is released, then Sayori suddenly appears and bumps into her. The Natsuki one's a little easier because Natsuki can just appear, and them charging is them just posing for the picture, and then when you release it, that's when they flash the camera.
Yeah.
Actually, BJ, I have a question.
So,
Okay, because I actually haven't seen the Monika moveset because I knew we were going to be playing it for Spooky Needle Geeks, but I have to know, is one of the victory animations is her sitting in front of you like on day 3?
Yep, it is.
Does she do the endless conversations?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, that's what matters.
Okay.
That's what matters to me.
Yep.
The endless conversations. Just stay on the victory screen.
Just Monika.
See, if Control Alt Delete wins her skirmish, maybe the box where the other characters normally would be, it just says character name car deleted successfully. That'd be funny.
After Monika wins matches against an opponent, their data will be erased from the game, slowly whittling the roster to just Monika.
Oof. What's sad about Doki Doki Literature Club is it's supposed to be a game about depression and stuff, but people just argue over who's the best girl.
Yeah, welcome to the internet. She needs more jumps if she's going to have a non-recovery up special.
I mean, I think 4 is enough. Like, already the notion of her having 4 jumps already is ludicrous. But again, it's Monika. She just does it because she wants. She says so.
Yeah, it's her rules.
Yeah. Like, I don't think she needs 6 jumps. I think that's fine. I think 4 is fine. Like, her recovery might end up being one of her weaker aspects. But that's fine. Like, there are characters who can still be viable, but still kind of just have weaker recoveries. Little Mac. But no, not even just Little Mac. Because like there are other characters who just have, less reliable recoveries. Other ones that come to mind, like the Belmonts. There's Cloud when he doesn't have limit break. Yeah, the limit break is his only means of being able to recover properly. Otherwise, he has a terrible recovery.
Yeah.
So.
How floaty are her jumps?
Not that floaty. Actually, yeah, she's not really a floaty character. She's mostly, she's pretty standard, I'd say. Did you know that Super Mario Bros. 2 is known as Doki Doki Literature Club? No, it's called Doki Doki Panic in Japan. And that's not what it's. And no, that's not what it's known as. No, I think you got that information a little wrong. Super Mario Bros. 2 is still just Super Mario Bros. 2. But it was based off of a Japanese-only title called Doki Doki Panic. But even in Japan, that there is a Super Mario Bros. 2 in Japan. What if her up smash is her waving at the camera and a mouse appears, then right-clicking, opening a box that does a lot of not. Oh. Nah. Because I really didn't want the moveset to be like, have like a lot of, like a whole lot of, like the computery stuff outside of like the glitchiness, like the small amount of glitchiness. I really did want it mostly just to being Monika doing school, like school kid stuff.
It honestly makes a lot of sense because I mean that's the first half of Doki Doki Literature Club. It plays like your standard visual novel. Well, it's not until you get to the second half is when all the weird stuff starts happening.
Bye, Maple. Yeah, that was the theme of the moveset. The idea is that you're playing as this character who doesn't look like she's fighting, she looks like she's just doing just everyday school student stuff, or just like teenager stuff or whatever. But when the attacks connect is when you suddenly realize, wait a minute, something's wrong here. Like it's all about that deception.
Yeah.
Like literally, like, as I said in the video as well, I based the whole moveset off of that one line that Yuri says. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of a reader's own lack of imagination and completely throw them for a loop?
It's like, okay. Yeah, it seems like, I guess, like, I'm seeing, like, a couple of people that are just saying they want to see, I guess, more of, like, the glitch variants. Like, again, like, you know, a lot of the weird stuff that you were seeing in the game, like the realistic eyes and, you know, some, like, subtle things that are off.
Yeah, I don't know, like, because a lot of that stuff obviously just can't be used, like, for the sake of, like, ratings, but even then, like, I didn't want it to get, like, too creepy. I wanted the creepiness factor to come from just how unsettling the moveset is by default. Like, I don't think you need solely creepy visuals to do that. I think just things being unsettling through through certain actions and how things affect you when they connect is enough for that.
Okay.
Like for example, Monika being able to use her Sayori side smash, and then immediately her Sayori side smash shows her there's two Sayoris on screen. That's creepy. Like, that'd be weird. That's unsettling.
Okay. Kirby says, I thought her theming would be stage control.
I mean, that's mostly her gameplay, I would say. And it kind of is, though not so much. Because that's kind of the funny thing, actually, because Monika doesn't really have control. Like, she's able to mess with the other girls' codes, like, to change their personalities, but she still doesn't even have control over that. Like, it ends up backfiring on her. So she doesn't really have full control. She kind of just, all she does is really mess with stuff. And that's what she does here. Like, she's a weak character who can cause lots of, just lots of crazy things to happen. And that's how she wins, by messing with you psychologically. By making you think twice about things. Her end screen chat being based on who her opponent picks. I meant it like guidance or codec calls? Oh, I don't know. Make a Sayori moveset based on Sayori's ending? Well, I mean, it would just be like Monika's, though, is the problem, so.
Monika Echo Fighter.
Nah. See, and that's the sad thing. I don't think I'm gonna make movesets for the other three girls. Mostly because I prefer them as attacks for Monika. Like, because I feel like if I were to try to make movesets for the other three girls, it would just be what I did for Monika, but less. So, I think just Monika is enough.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Monika is all you need. Since Monika's side special sends out Sayori as a projectile, can Villager pocket her?
Yes, he can.
Oh god. I mean, he could be pocketing a program.
He's like, I pocketed my waifu.
Help! Get me out of here! It's full of fish and bugs.
Like, nope, I'm taking Sayori home.
What if her final smashes are turned giant in the background? And that's forced. Like, nah. That's kind of forced. It's a person I can fit in my... I mean, Villager can pocket Rush, I believe, if I remember if I'm remembering that correctly. So, if he can fit a whole dog into his pocket, I think he can fit a person too.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Villager can pocket, like, magic. Like,
His pocket is just run on TARDIS magic.
yeah, so I mean, it's like, at this point, I just think anything's possible.
Can he pocket Yuri? No, Yuri is not a projectile. She's a trap. Like, she effectively counts the same as, like, Snake's, like, C4. How would it work with Kirby? The neutral special was the poem writing. So while Kirby would not gain the benefits of the girls themselves, he would gain the stat buff benefits. So he could still increase his own power or speed by writing the poems. So Kirby, that's what Kirby gets. He gets the poem writing. So you can make super strong Kirby or super fast Kirby.
It's like, in Animal Crossing New Horizons, can't the villager pocket whales? Well, technically, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, if Villager could fit a whole whale into his pocket, I think a 5 foot something girl he can fit just fine.
He can fit your wife.
It's like, yeah, everyone's like, yeah, Villager the kidnapper.
Villager off to steal your wife.
All right. So, is there anything else on Monika then? Sayori is not 3 foot 12.
Yeah, that's a tiny girl.
Well, for one thing, that's 4 feet, but she's like I remember looking this up when I was looking up the girl's heights back when I made this move set. No, she's I think she's like 5'4", I want to say. So.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome
Hey,
back.
Hey!
You're right on.
Monika.
Yeah, you were talking about Monika. You're right on time, Brad.
Oh, why are we? Oh dear. Why are y'all happy that I'm back for Monika?
Well, don't worry, because I think we're almost done with Monika, because no one else is really bringing her up at all. So I think we're good with Monika. Like, so are we good to move on then?
Mr. Maniac dropped $100 Canadian.
Yeah, he did.
Yep, and he did.
Because he really liked Fawful. Thanks again for that, Maniac.
Kirby's words would just be Poyo.
Yeah, he doesn't know how to write a poem.
Yeah.
Poyo, but in different fonts.
No, it'd be like you get Poyo and then you get Po space Yo, Poi. Oh, and it's like that weird thing with the Monika glitch. Then you just have Yo, then Po, and then Poo.
All right, I think we're good because I'm seeing people like bring up a lot of the same kind of things. So, all right. So then, 99. Spider-Man with Miles as his Echo Fighter. Thoughts on this moveset?
Spider-Man. Spider-Man. I mean, obviously, we need more Spider-Ham.
Spider-Man's final smash should be maximum spider. So now I know that was kind of a big one. That like people were saying that he should have maximum spider, and that really is kind of just a preference thing, honestly. I just preferred Web Blossom because it really could be either or, but I just preferred Web Blossom because that fits more in toe to the parallels of Miles having what he has. What was it called again? Venom Blast.
Yeah.
I'm seeing somebody mentioned specifically for Miles when he does his grab, like he grabs somebody and just goes, hey.
Hey. The shoulder touch.
Okay, but was that in a game?
It was in a 3D animation, 3D video.
But was it in a video game?
Wait
Miles
till we
should've had
get
the
to the Spider-Man game. Maybe they'll put it
So
in.
I actually thought more about what you said before, Maniac, about how because there were plenty of people that were saying that I should have given Miles Morales the Spider-Verse suit, which was technically a possible alt in the Spider-Man video game. So I acknowledge that. Here's my thing though. My major reason why I didn't include it was because it's just another black and red alt. But here's also my other thing. I feel like if I were to include that, because you also brought up how it could have just been cell shaded, make it look more stylistic, to help differentiate it from his usual black and red. Where would Peter's parallel be then? Because I feel like there should have been there should be then a same kind of Spider-Verse style alt for Peter then, and
Yeah.
that would be just another red and blue suit for him. So
Because the closest thing you have to that is the one that its only abilities it gives you quips.
So, I still disagree with the idea of the Spider-Verse suit being in. I much prefer the costume choices that I ended up giving to him. Let's see here. Let's see. Spider-Man's Ritual Special should be him going on Craigslist and buying... What? Okay.
Okay. The only thing I could say is I find the side special and the grab redundant. I would give him a standard grab.
I thought about that too, but I feel like that's the thing though. Spider-Man, he does what's convenient, not necessarily what's full of variety. And I guess it's no different than like Zero Suit Samus, because she does the same kind of thing. She has a side special that involves her whip, and then a grab that also has her they do different things. Yeah, like the side special for Zero Suit Samus, it's just an attack where her grab actually is like a tether grab, but they can still both be used for tether recovery and the like. But even beyond that, I feel like because the point of like the grab is to pull them into you and then throw them, whereas the side special allows you to be a little more free with it, and as well as use it in the air.
Having Spider-Man Noir and the Scarlet Spider as alts for Parker, or having Parker and Miles casual clothes as alts, and having his web throw move from Marvel vs. Capcom 3 as his forward and back throw.
You mean the web throw that I gave him as a part of the side special? That's already there.
Yeah.
Plus, having it as a throw, I feel would be a little more awkward, because the point of the web throw is because the grab pulls him in. So if you were to use the web throw, it would then become pulls you in, pushes you away just to throw you. The point of the web throw is to grab you from a distance and then throw you while you're still at that distance. So I don't think the web throw would actually work as a throw. I think that's why I made it the special. It worked better as the special. Have a taunt where he removes his mask? No!
No!
Defeats the whole point!
That's your secret identity! Spider-Man can't show a secret identity. Like, what are you, nuts? What if someone finds out?
Miles' side special should be his Venom. No, that's what I made his side smash. Like, I specifically made it where Peter and Miles have different side smashes. Like, Peter does Crawler Assaults, and Miles does Venom Punch. You guys keep suggesting things for these characters that are already in the moveset, just in different spots.
Different fonts.
The Web Blossom Final Smash could be able to knock back opponents like the Impact Webs can.
They don't knock them back, it just traps them. Like, it holds them in place. So, think of it like Peach and Daisy's Final Smashes, where it's really a technical Final Smash. It by itself, unless you happen to web them up while they're over the blast zone, in which case they just fall to their death, it by itself cannot KO opponents. Instead, it's designed to hold them in place so then you yourself can KO them. No, if you want the Final Smash that actually knocks them away, that's Miles with the Mega Venom Blast. That's Miles' deal. Who was my favorite actor that played as Spider-Man? Oh, probably frick, I forgot his name completely. The kid who in the MCU.
Tom Holland.
Thank you.
Holland?
Yeah, him. Yeah, he's definitely my favorite, I'd say.
Wait, can I be heard?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, because I definitely said Tom Holland.
Yeah.
Because I know there's Tom Holland, there's Tobey Maguire.
Who I think was the weakest, honestly. Like, I know a lot of people didn't like Andrew Garfield, but I feel like he pulled off what I feel is a good Spider-Man a little better than Tobey Maguire did. Tobey Maguire just felt a little more whiny.
You didn't like Pizza Time?
No, I didn't. I didn't at all, actually.
Pizza time.
What should Miles Morales be called, since him and Peter are both Spider-Man? Just Miles Morales. Because I think that's what even, like, the video games do, where if you have... I think, like, in, like, Marvel, in any of, like, those, like, major, like, big Marvel crossover games that have both Peter and Miles, generally Peter is just called Spider-Man, and Miles is just called Miles Morales. Like, they just call him Miles Morales. So I think in this case, he'd probably just be called Miles.
Okay.
Down special switching web types would be cool. It would be, but I think that would already put too much to the moveset that it already has. Because there's already so much versatility that you can do with each of the specials, like standalone, that I feel like adding more to that would just make things a little too convoluted. Or, well, convoluted for this moveset, I would say.
Think it would be fun to have a Peter or Miles in their daily life outfits as alt.
Nah, I don't think so. I prefer them in suits.
Doesn't Miles already have a outfit like that?
He does. It's based on, like, his training alts, but I still prefer his suits myself.
And one of Miles' ults has a kitty cat in his bag.
Spider-Man!
I actually something I remember from when I first posted this moveset as well. There were lots of people that were wondering why I didn't just make Spider Sense the down special, just make it a basic counter as opposed to what I did for it, where I made it a bit like a little harder to use, because I made it like Bayonetta and Mithra's deal, with extra steps. The reason for that is because I really wanted the web bomb, and a big thing about that is because he's Spider-Man. I feel like he should have, because I know he already has the I gave him the web shots, like for his neutral special, but I wanted him to have a trap, like some kind of trap attack, because he's a spider-themed villain. He needs traps. That's what spiders do. They trap people, or insects, I guess. So Spider-Men should be trapping men.
Yeah. Crook. Uncle killers.
Sophia's sending me stuff, but I can't look at it right now. Spider-Man quips for every character when. That's kind of that kind of falls into the same category as the Palutena's guidance. That would require me to be clever enough to actually be able to come up with writing for these characters.
Spider-Man is now a villain, according to PJ.
Yeah, because you said villains catching.
Did I?
Yeah.
Well.
Spider-Man lived long enough to become the
I mean,
villain.
to be fair, the Superior Spider-Man comics is just where Doc Ock was a Spider-Man.
Yeah, you know what exactly? I'm sure at least one multiverse has a villain Spider-Man, so why not?
Yeah.
I'm still right.
And you know what? There's also a comic where Doctor Doom became Iron Man.
Jeez.
Daily reminder: comics are dumb.
No, wait, no. Actually, hold on. Dulce Dog's right. He is a menace.
That should be his boxing ring title. Menace.
The menace.
Came up with that one. JJ.
Actually, no. If you want to get like really into the lore, his boxing ring title should be like the Human Spider. If you want to get really into deep into the lore there, or whatever it was he called himself during that wrestling whatever.
Just like the Human Spider. That's the best you got. Yeah, that sucks.
We gotta make notes of this for, again, I know it's gonna be a while before we get to Spider-Man and the aesthetic stream, but make a note of that.
Alright, so anything else on Peter or Miles' movesets in general?
Whatever the Spider-Man stage is, Peter and Miles could have a form of Palutena's guidance. Peter gets just the facts with J. Jonah Jameson, and Miles gets the Danny cast.
Yes.
No, I think just Jameson's enough for that. He's commenting about how Spider-Man is beating up all these innocent other fighters.
You know, how hilarious. He says that exact line, but Sephiroth's on the stage.
Only Jameson would find a way to make Sephiroth appear innocent. Only he would do that.
Or Ridley.
Look at him! He beat up that plumber! He really is a menace! See? Guy was probably just on his way to work, and Spider-Man just beat him up and lit him on fire somehow.
You say Sephiroth was a science experiment. I say he's an innocent victim.
Alright, so then
JJ.
Are we good for Spider-Man then?
I think we're good.
Okay. Alright, last one for the night then.
For the night? Okay.
My big 100, I think. There we go. Jibanyan Shadowside. Thoughts on this moveset?
First of all, how many of you people knew that there was even a Yokai Watch 4?
I did. I wanted to play it.
I know we did because we were there with. Yeah, chat. You don't understand what the lengths that BJ went because he just wanted to play that game so bad. I mean, he spent days trying to figure out how he can play this game because it's never been localized.
Yeah.
So he's like, how can I play this game? And he did so much research trying to figure out how to get the accounts and such, just so that he can get that on his Switch.
Yep.
So I'm about to be right there with BJ if I have to wait long enough.
And I'm so glad I did. That was so worth it. It's like the best Yokai Watch game in the game. Why is the thumbnail black? Because Shadowside. Because if you remember the video, when the thumbnail appears in the video, it starts off with light side with the yellow background, but then it transitions to the shadow side, which is a black background. So that's all that is. It's a joke.
Tell me how to play Yokai Watch 4, BJ.
Okay, so first, you make yourself a Japanese account on your Switch. It has to be a brand new account with Japan as the region. Then, when you go to the eShop, it will be a Japanese eShop. So it will be in Japanese, but you should still be able to use your English characters to find games with it. You look for Yokai Watch 4. Specifically, you want to find Yokai Watch 4 Plus, because that's the definitive edition. Then, in order to buy it, you're gonna have to go online and purchase Japanese eShop cards. Because if you try buying with your own credit card or whatever, it won't accept it, because it needs to use yen, not dollars. So you gotta buy a Japanese eShop card, put that into the game, and then you can download it.
I wish it was a Yokai Watch fighting game, to be honest.
It's like, yeah, again, I'm not kidding when I was saying, like, BJ spent, like, nights trying to figure all this out just so that he can play this stupid game.
And then it ended up being pretty simple, too. The moveset should have been more similar to the normal Jibanyan. I don't really think so, because the big point of Shadowside Jibanyan is that he's actually a veteran warrior. Like, he actually, because normal Jibanyan, he's a bit more cowardly, and he's way more clumsy. This version of Jibanyan will actually destroy you.
Yeah. This one wakes up and chooses violence.
Literally, that boy wakes up, perches up on the top of a building, and just destroys trucks every day. So he literally chooses violence. Yes, I am gonna make more moveset. So yeah, so for everyone who thought that that Jibanyan Shadowside would be my last moveset, it is not. I am not stopping this for a long time.
Yeah.
Give them both. Jibanyan's already used the gun once, so.
Yeah. For Jibanyan's neutral special, he wields a gun.
Jeez.
It's like Jibanyan is a rookie. Adult Jibanyan is literally Jotaro Kujo as a cat. You're not wrong.
No, literally, because even in the anime,
movie.
yeah, in the anime, whenever he uses his paws of fury, he actually does the stupid aura thing, like.
Yada yada.
It's like, yeah. I remember, because again, I remember when, oh my god, BJ was like fanboying so hard when Yokai Watch 4 came out. So I was like, not only just the game, we actually watched the freaking movie.
The movie is phenomenal.
We did watch the movie. Yeah, you're right.
We watched it for Spiffy Needle Geeks. The movie's phenomenal. Come on, guys.
You're right.
We found that. So it was like, yeah, that was where we saw that. It's like, yeah, Adult Jibanyan is pretty much Jotaro. And it's like, didn't like Adult Komasan, like, what's one of his attacks? Like, he just literally pisses on people.
Yeah.
Well, that's just what that's not one of his attacks. He just does that because he's a dog.
It's like, yeah, he literally pulls an Okami.
Like,
Yeah.
what was I about to say? Oh, I was about to say, fun fact, the voice actor for Shadowside Jibanyan is the same guy that voices Kiryu Kazuma from the Yakuza series. So this guy is just good at voicing people that like to beat the ever living everything out of everyone.
You know what? While we're on the topic of JoJo, some time ago I realized something interesting that when playing Monster Hunter Rise, that got me to use a specific voice type a lot more often now.
Yeah.
Yeah, like one of the DLC voices that you can get in Monster Hunter Rise. I gotta look up the name. I gotta look up the name of the voice actor. But I discovered that DLC voice that you can use is for the English voices anyway, is the exact same voice actor as Narancia in Golden Wind.
Hey.
All right, we're getting way too off topic. Back to the moveset. So moveset opinions, other ideas you guys may have had, general mistakes and issues.
Okay. One of Jibanyan's alts could have been Necronyan from Yokai Watch.
Necronyan? I have never heard of that one. Let me look that one up.
Jibanyan? BJ's never heard of? What is this?
Oh, actually, I can't look at that one. I can't look it up just yet. Oh, well,
What was the move that you based the down special on called in Japanese?
oh, it's just called Yokai Watch Shadowside, or the Rise of the Oni King, I think.
Okay, no, you're saying like the move that you based the down special on.
Oh,
Like,
the
he's-
move.
he's-
Oh, the move.
Yeah.
Sorry, I
Yeah.
thought you said movie.
Yeah. What's that move called in Japanese?
Assuming I translated it correctly, the translation kept coming out to the art of martial arts, and I don't think that's correct. That doesn't sound correct to me. Like, at least in I'm sure it makes sense in Japanese, but like to an English speaking audience, that doesn't sound right. What happened to Jibanyan? He got older. Boy kept fighting trucks every day. He got stronger. Well, no, I guess specifically the Shadowside. We don't actually know what happened. I'm not sure if it's ever explained just yet because I don't think it's. I don't recall if it was explained in the game or not. And the anime for Shadowside has not finished getting its subs yet. Like, I think they're still missing 7 episodes. So I'm not sure if it's ever actually been explained why this power of Shadowside just suddenly awakened in Yokai. I'm not quite sure. His final smash would be him calling all cats? How would he call all cats? No offense, but something tells me that this character doesn't have enough people aware of it for there to be a lot of opinions about it. And that's fair. But I guess, like, even, like, not knowing much about the character, like I guess, like, it's just the moveset in general.
Why does Lightside Jibanyan look like a crack addict?
He's just old. That's all it is. He's old. Like...
And that's what happens when you get older. You look like a crackhead.
He's cranky. He's all it is. He's just cranky. Like...
I got hit by a truck. You be cranky too.
Hey, Ryan's here.
Ryan!
Yo.
How be you?
Happy post birthday.
So,
Thank you, Brandon.
yeah, Ryan, you were near the.
It's
You
like,
were
well,
reach-
it's about freaking time, dude. I'm just
so
kidding.
I was so busy yesterday, dude.
I know. Me too. Me
Busy.
too.
You is reaching the end of the mistakes and aches and issues videos. We are talking about Jibanyan.
Yeah, I know. It's like at the time there was this tornado warning going on in my area, so I couldn't do much. Aside from just keeping an eye on some things, but no, it seems like everything is fine now.
Okay, that's good.
How aggressive will Shadowside Jibanyan fight? For this moveset, you gotta be hyper aggressive. Like I said in the video, you gotta suffocate these guys. You can't let them breathe at all. No breathing room. Just keep going in.
Tell them not allowed. They can only I get to play the game.
But I want to play.
If both this and normal Jibanyan were in the game, well, what would they be called? Would they both be called Jibanyan?
I think the OG one would just be Jibanyan. This one I think would be called Jibanyan Shadowside, or Jibanyan Lightside. Anyway.
You have 2 different voice clips, like for Roy Koopa and Roy the Fire Emblem.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, Mario and Dr. Mario, Samus, and Zero Suit Samus.
Yeah. Or Roy. Roy!
Oh, jeez.
Jibanyan is a shadow, the true self.
Could you please answer me? I want to help you find the correct translation. Oh, regarding the art of martial. Well, oh, are you asking
Yeah,
like what is
like-
like the Japanese characters? Oh, I couldn't tell you. I could not tell you that one. Like I'd have to pull up the game and like show it to you. I couldn't tell you otherwise though.
We're not
Robostar-
weeb enough.
Robostar Planet says, ever thought of making a Discord server? We have 2.
Well, I have one, but you need to be a channel member to join it.
Yeah, like, well, technically we have 2.
One for you, one for SNG.
What one you need to be a sponsor for. The other, no, you don't.
The other one, you need a link.
Yeah. yeah, you're technically right.
And the only way you're gonna get that link is if you subscribe to SNG.
Okay, so there's 2 things.
Does Shadowside still love chocolate?
Yes, apparently he eats 2 tons of it a week.
Bruh, fatty.
How did I just realize that the personas from Persona were basically just stands? Well, to be fair, like the beginning of Persona 4 is Diamond is Unbreakable. I mean, just saying.
BJ did the up tilt for Jibanyan this time. You know what's it's funny actually? I was so tempted to purposefully kind of skip it at first and then go back to it as a joke, as a reference joke. Well, first off, thank you, Maniac. Jibanyan 2099. Yeah. I was so tempted to skip the up tilt at first as a joke to reference how I did actually forget about the up tilt in the original Jibanyan episode. But I thought, nah, I'm not going to. Like,
Yeah. That it wouldn't be that funny.
Chocolate is poisonous to cats, though. But Jibanyan's already dead.
Yeah. Like, and you know what's funny? Even actually in, I can't remember if they ever did this in the original Yokai Watch show because I never watched far enough into it. But in the Shadowside anime, there actually is an episode that involves all the chocolate on Valentine's Day like disappearing in town, and Jibanyan's like pissed about it. He's really upset. Like he's ready to murder somebody, and you know he brings up, and you know Natsume is like, wow, yeah, that's right. I forgot how much Jibanyan really loves chocolate, and he just glows like 2 tons of it a week. And then Whisper interjects, remember everybody, Jibanyan is a yokai, so him eating chocolate is okay. Do not feed chocolate to real live cats though. It is deadly poisonous to them.
Mm-hmm.
And then like and then like Natsume's little brother chimes in, who are you talking to? I have no idea.
I'll get back to you on
guess.
that.
And that's also why Shadowside Whisper is the best Whisper, because he's actually smart.
That is true.
All right. I guess so. Is there enough? I guess there's nothing else on Shadowside Jibanyan then. So if that is the case, we can kind of turn this into a general stream for a little bit. So here, let me just do this.
Okay. Does Jibanyan ever reunite with Amy?
Sorry.
Does
Jordan
Jibanyan
can't-
ever reunite with Amy?
He does.
Yeah.
He does actually. Twice or. Yeah, twice I think. There was one episode. I never saw it, but there was an episode in the original anime where he went to the future and met up with Amy, who was Yeah, it's not working. Oh well. He met up with Amy, who was kind of like interning to be a designer, and he tried helping her alongside. I think it was alongside Rabanyan and Shogunyan. They tried helping her out, and I think shenanigans happened. And by the end of the episode, she sees him, and it's revealed actually that Amy apparently has the ability to just naturally see yokai for some reason. And then they do reunite again in the Shadowside anime. It was an episode that was specifically about Jibanyan, where because apparently as Jibanyan got older, because yokai memories are just so bad, they tend to forget things quite often. So by the events of Shadowside, Jibanyan actually completely forgot his entire past. But all he knew was that he loved chocolate, and he also, for some reason, had a fascination with Japanese schoolgirls. And then he ended up finding one that, for some reason, just really caught his attention. Like, he was like, why am I so fixated on this girl specifically? But this girl was also being targeted by Shigigami to take her life.
Oh.
And in the Yokai Watch universe, it's illegal for yokai to disturb Shikigami when they're targeting somebody, like, to take their souls. But he couldn't help but save her. Like, his body was moving on his own. Like, for some reason, he needed to save this girl. Yeah. And by the end of the episode, we find out that this girl was actually Amy's daughter. And when the daughter took him, and like, cause he got really hurt. Like, he was shot in the gut. Like his entire stomach was literally blown out. Like, it was just a massive hole in his gut. And after that happened, and when the situation was kind of sorted, and like when he saved her life, she tried bringing him back to her house to see if her mom can help him. And her mom, despite, being this monstrous cat, her mother, Amy, immediately recognized him as her cat, Rudy. And that was enough. And as soon as he saw her and recognized her, that jogged all his memories back. Or all of Jibanyan's memories back, I should say. So it was a really nice episode. And by the way, I should also mention, that's also how Junior was born. I mentioned in the moveset how Jibanyan has an offspring named Junior, who, like, this little floating little cat guy who looks kind of like Jibanyan, but kind of like all cutesy and such. Junior was born from the remnants of Jibanyan's gut when he was blasted out. That's how Junior was born. So it's interesting how that happens. And the image thing is broken again. So whatever, we're just like with Jibanyan for the rest of the night, I guess.
Just Jibanyan.
So yeah. So there was that. So in short, yeah, Jibanyan did end up eventually reunited with Amy a couple of times. What's the age rating on this show? I don't actually know. I don't know. No clue. Like, at least in Japan, I'm sure if it ever came to America, a lot of this would get censored, but in Japan, the characters actually do curse quite a bit. Like, they cuss. Like, Jibanyan actually does have a bit of a sailor mouth himself too, actually. So, like, this boy's just done. Like, he's just ready to kill people.
This cat angry.
And he's not afraid to insult you to your face while he does so.
Yeah, he's just a mad cat. I mean, then again, I'd be angry too if my death was getting run over by a truck.
The Jibanyan is Sans.
But why though?
Nyan nyan nyan.
Oh my god.
Instead of the annoying dog, it's the annoying cat.
Wait. Oh, wait. Oh, jeez. What was that? What was that one, like, old meme from, like, a decade ago with, like, the dancing cat, like on the pop
I'm a cat.
card?
I'm a kitty cat. And I dun 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 dun.
No. It was like this Pop-Tart cat, like
Oh,
flying-
the Nyan cat.
Nyan cat. Yeah, Nyan cat.
Freaking Nyan cat. Oh my god. It's literally that, but it's with Sans freaking face.
It's like, no, just take Nyan cat, but with Shadowside Jibanyan face.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's just blowing through trucks.
God.
It's empty. Yeet.
It's like Nyan cat flies through space. Shadowside Jibanyan cat flies through the street.
Oh, jeez.
It's like, oh,
He's
heck
just,
yeah.
he's just taking out all the cars.
I wonder why this thing is, like, broken. I don't get it. Oh, well, whatever. We're just like with
It's like,
Jibanyan.
it's like, all right, excuse me, pardon me.
All right, have a good night, Ozma. All right, so yeah, I guess we're kind of just in general chat time right now. So if you, I guess we'll go on for a little bit longer, and then I guess so yeah, if you guys want to just ask anything in general, keep throwing in more requests if you have any. Yeah, we'll just talk about whatever you want. So if you want to talk about older characters that you may have missed from beforehand, or if you missed a character from tonight, or just ask whatever. We'll just chill out. We'll just chill out the rest of the stream.
Who would win, Jibanyan, like Shadowside Jibanyan or Incineroar?
Shadowside Jibanyan, probably.
Thank you, Dark Meta Knight, for
Yes,
the
thank you.
donation. Monika could have the chibi images of the girls appear on top of her portrait to show which poem is higher.
I guess that would be a good way to help indicate it. Literally any Zelda character. You gotta be specific. Like, I tend to, sorry guys, I tend to ignore those, like, you know, any character from so-and-so series. You gotta give me names. Will the next moveset be, moveset or requested? It'll be requested. Like, I'm probably not gonna do another personal moveset for a little bit. So, like, the next 10 for sure are all highly requested.
Who's your favorite yokai?
Blizzaria. Because I always really was fascinated by that, the legend that she's based off of. The Yuki-onna legend. Yeah. So I always kind of gravitated towards Blizzaria because of that. But I also do really like Dragon Lord. And who's another big one for me actually? Let me think.
What about the one you represented yourself on Discord for a while, Angry Bacon?
Oh, Salty Bacon. Yeah, Salty Bacon's funny. I just like his face. Oh, and then Vinox, of course. You know, of course. I love Vinox. Vinox is, like, super cool. Was there one more instance in Yokai Watch where Jibanyan reunited with Amy when he was sent back to the past? Oh, well, I guess that was technically the first time he was reunited with Amy, but, like, not officially. Because he was just reliving his past at that point.
Okay. So do you like Pokemon Frostlass?
I do, actually. I actually do like Frostlass. I think my problem with Frostlass, though, is unfortunately, like, there are just other Ghost and Ice types that I do like over Frostlass. Yep. Though I do really like Frostlass, though. Actually, no, you know what? I think actually Frostlass probably is one of my favorite Ice types. I'm gonna come to think of it. So.
By the way, are you feeling better today, Ryan?
Yeah, okay, putting aside that, I mean, I'm definitely feeling much better than before, so I will say that. No, thanks for asking, Jordan. I appreciate it.
Can Yuri be reflected?
No, she can't. She's not a projectile. Will we ever get Adjust the Facts with Chicho and Jameson stream? I don't know. Maybe. there's a lot of those kinds of streams that I want to do that you know, I still never got around to. There actually is one stream that I think I really do want to do though. Because now that Super Smash Bros. Ultimate has concluded and all the characters are for sure out, I would like to kind of do some streams now where I go over every single character and certain aspects of them. Like, one idea that I actually had that I wouldn't mind doing sometime maybe later next week, actually, I would love to do, like, a yay or nay kind of stream on Final Smashes. Like, I would love to go over every character's Final Smash and kind of, like, decide with you guys, the chat, you know, do we like this Final Smash? Like, was this a good Final Smash? And if not, what would we have, you know, what could have been done in place of it? So, kind of a precursor to, like, what I'm already doing with the Nitpick series. Yeah, but, specifically for Final Smashes. And I'd also like to do other things, like maybe like talk about like possible alternate costumes the characters could have had, things like that. Because I was kind of just waiting for all the characters to be out first before I did things like that. And now that they are, I would not mind getting that kind of thing started.
When is the next Kirby hat stream?
I don't know. Whenever I feel like doing it, I guess. I do want to get back to those because I'm behind on Kirby hats. But at some point. Who is cuter, Jibanyan or Shmoopy? I'd say Jibanyan, because Shmoopy's just creepy. I know Shmoopy's whole thing is supposed to be cute, but when you know the context, it's literally kind of a cult guy. It's like, no, thank you.
No, get out of here.
What non-video game characters do you want in Smash?
Oh, I don't know. I'm
Damn
not.
it.
I mean, that's not fair. Gengar from Pokemon, I think he's. Gengar is iconic, but I don't think Gengar is iconic enough to be by himself. Plus, I think Gengar kind of falls under that same category that like Garchomp does, where like, yeah, it's a very popular Pokemon and it could be by itself, but there are just a lot of notable Gengar trainers that I feel like I'd rather give Gengar to a trainer because there's just a lot of trainers that do use Gengar.
We deal with enough Gengar in Pokemon Ultimate anyway. Pokemon Unite anyway. Keep him out of Ultimate. We deal with enough Gengar in Pokemon Unite. Keep him out of Ultimate.
Hey, Brandon, wanna play some Pokken?
I want to boot up Pokken now. You know what? You know what? You know what? I might make that the next SNG stream. I might actually make that the next SNG stream. I might boot up some Pokken.
Okay. When will you do? I'm sorry. Santana Boyd wants to know, when will you do the Monokuma Executions stream?
I already did one.
I guess he wants to know when's the next one.
Yeah, like I again kind of falls under the Kirby hat. Like it's gonna have to be whenever I feel like doing it, I guess. Because that is another one I would like to get back to, and I think for the most part we really did cover a lot of like the executions that we do like for the characters already in that initial stream. So I think if we do it again, it probably will be like actually drawing out the executions. But that'll be another one of those like series of streams that'll take a while. And I'm already kind of backlogged between the aesthetics and the Kirby hats.
Well, Danny, I guess you could say for that SNG stream, I rolled a 20 on my persuasion check.
How would you think Spider-Man would react if he met Muffet? Probably freaked out. Spider-Man may be spider themed, but he still probably would be freaked out if he saw a spider monster.
Let alone a spider monster with a giant cupcake for a pet.
I mean, hey, he became a spider monster at one point.
And I'm sure he hated every second of it.
He did. In fact, it almost got him killed by the Punisher.
Jeez. All right. I think I am gonna have to go ahead and call it here pretty soon. So Danny, do you want to read off the request list and end things off?
I can do that.
Alrighty.
All right, let me go back to the top.
How do you blow my nose?
Okay.
Why is everyone getting sick?
Because Mother Nature is trying to be a dick. Okay. Anyway, we have Riku, the puppet from FNAF, Terra, Aqua, and Ventus, Monkey D. Luffy, Madison from Dragon Quest V, Toriel, Jack Skellington, Tom Nook, Gatomon, Akira Yuki from Virtua Fighter, the Power Rangers, the Boyfriend, Beatrix from Slime Rancher, Godzilla, Kiryu from the Yakuza games, Optimus Prime, Boy, Gooey, Dark Meta Knight, Spampton, Bugs Bunny, Rouge the Bat, Toru Adachi, Magma Dragoon, Noel and Birdley from Deltarune, Raz, Team Chaotix, Spectre Knight, the Alolan Trainer, the Monopoly Man, Eddie Brock / Venom, Vector Man, Mickey Mouse, Wolverine, the Goat from Goat Simulator, Yu Narukami, Patrick Starr, the Scout from Team Fortress 2, the Black Mage, the Galga Boss, Big Doug, Somei Cruz, Gengar, and Conquer.
Alrighty. Though that said, I keep meaning to ask this to you, Danny. Speaking of Noel and Birdley, what did you think of Deltarune Chapter 2?
I still haven't finished it.
Still haven't finished it?
I was in the middle of starting it, but then I got Metroid Dread.
Oh.
Okay.
So priorities.
All right, fair.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah.
I was gonna mute for that one because I recently just met a sub goal on Twitch where I'm gonna be playing through Deltarune blind for the first time ever. So
Okay.
I want to withhold. I want to withhold off from anything Deltarune related until I actually play the game myself.
Yeah, I will say though, from what I have played of Deltarune, I am enjoying episode 2.
All right. Then I guess to finish off with a couple more questions. Would I ever thought about doing a stream where you play a ROM hack chat versus Sonic Mania? Probably not. I never heard of that. Why don't I make videos condensing all the criticisms? I think why did I stop making those videos? I think just because
people didn't watch them.
Yeah, they didn't do that well. No one was watching them anyway. So it's like,
Yeah, why bother?
plus we actually got to a point now where it's like there are just so few things brought up during these streams for these characters, because I like to do these anyway just to be able to chat with you guys about them. But the actual criticisms that brought up are so few in between that I don't feel like it's really worth making a video on, unfortunately. So, I was thinking maybe I can start doing more some stream highlight stuff. Maybe condense the live streams into highlights to kind of go over points like that. But that's just another project for me, and my plate pretty filled. So. All right. Okay, I think that is actually where I'm gonna have to go ahead and call it. So I did have a lot of fun tonight. So I guess for those who aren't aware, I am currently taking the 3-week break, the 3-week moveset upload break. So episode 101 will be coming out in a couple of weeks from now. I feel bad doing it because of how many delays kept happening for the last 10 characters, but I still need those weeks because I need to work on the next 10. So, I want to try to get the next 10 movesets at least filled out for the most part, so I can start making those videos on them comfortably. So yeah, you will mostly be seeing live streams from me over these next few weeks. I think the next live stream that I do want to do is that final Smash one that I was talking about before. So that'll probably be sometime within the next week, I'd say. But alrighty, so this has been a fun night. Hope you guys didn't mind staring at Jibanyan's big dopey face, and I hope everyone has a great night. Take care of yourselves. Wash your hands, brush your teeth, stay hydrated, and take care.